After sweeping the doubleheader yesterday, BGSU baseball goes for a 3-game sweep against the Eastern Michigan Eagles here today at Stellar Field. Tyler Kavitz alongside Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network here with you for this one. And Chaz, this is a big game for both of these teams. For Bowling Green, looking to continue the momentum, get their first conference series sweep since the end of March. In Eastern Michigan, they are now on the bubble for the MAC tournament in that 6th spot, looking to keep themselves in the running for the postseason.
Yeah, Tyler, the Falcons really just kind of took a lot of the hope and faith out of Eastern Michigan yesterday. The Eagles, we knew they had pitching troubles in that first game. They go through, it felt like the entirety of their bullpen, and then they get some really good outings out of several pitchers in that second game, and then Gunnar Antillian steps up, walk-off win in what was essentially just a blooper single to get the win. That was a massive moment for Bowling Green. They stay in 4th. They're now just 2 games behind Miami of Ohio, who won their series against the Falcons. So that would be huge if Bowling Green can gain some more momentum and kind of snowball effect as we get into some more bigger games, Fifth Third Field next week. But then Eastern Michigan, like you mentioned, they're 9-11 now. They're now 6th behind Toledo. This would be a big win for the Eagles. As we were talking before this series, Bowling Green, Eastern Michigan, it's going to be a battle of who's going to jump who's going to stay where, and Bowling Green got the better. They won their first series in what felt like a very long time since Central Michigan. Maybe it's the Michigans that Bowling Green's better with, but I don't know, Tyler. We've got to go on here today.
We do, and I want to start off first by going over those 2 games yesterday because we were talking about which team would take the upper hand in the standings, whether it's Bowling Green, Eastern Michigan. They were right next to each other coming into the series in those conference standings, and this could have very well been a split yesterday. BG took game 1 pretty commandingly, 11-4. It was resuming the game that was postponed that had started on Friday, but postponed due to rain. But the Falcons win 11-4. They score 4 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th to take that victory. But Eastern Michigan's the one that has the upper hand going into the later innings of the second game. They scored 3 in the 8th, and they went up by a few runs going into that bottom of the 8th. Bowling Green responded, 3 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th to walk it off to secure the sweep, which is huge now as the Falcons are in a position to go for a sweep and really give themselves some breathing room in the MAC standings.
Yeah, breathing room is really the right term for it, because you look at the MAC standings, let's break it down a little bit. You've got Ball State at 17-3. Falcons take game 1 against them, but then they lose the following 2 in what was one of the highest scoring series I think I've ever watched here at Stellar Field.
I'd probably put money on it. That was the highest scoring series we're going to see from the Mid-American Conference this season.
Oh, it was unreal. I mean, over 40 runs scored in just one game alone between the two teams. You can't beat that in a 23-18 loss for the Falcons. Kent State, another team that Bowling Green lost overall in the series to. Again, they take game 1, but they lose the final 2. Kent State's 15-5, and the Miami of Ohio 17-6, right above the Falcons. And if you can jump the Red Hawks, I think that's where Bowling Green might make their bread and butter. You're not going to win the MAC in one game.
Yeah.
You're not going to jump everybody in one game. You're 5 games behind first place. You had your chance to battle the Kings, and you lost in the series. But what you got to do is, A, keep yourself above Toledo, EMU, and Central. They've already won both series against Eastern and Central, but a sweep here not only helps your pride, it adds another number into the win column that you desperately need in what is turning out to be a hotly contested conference in the MAC.
Before we get into these batting orders for both teams and the starting pitcher duel for today, Chaz, you watched both these games yesterday. What are your keys to the game for Bowling Green, for Eastern Michigan, if either of those teams want to come out with a win here today at Stellar Field?
I mean, I want to see more out of the pitching staff for Eastern Michigan. I don't have the exact number, but it was 10, 11, 12 pitchers we saw through 2 games. They have 20 pitchers in that bullpen. Even if you kind of do a double duty for some of these pitchers, it's still going to be an issue. If you went through 7 in one game, if you go through 6 in this game because Bowling Green bats are hot, they're just able to figure your pitchers out early, that might be an issue as your bullpen is going to get thin and thin fast. And then
20 walks, by the way, between those Eastern Michigan pitchers yesterday across the 2 games. They had 14 in the first game and then 6 in that second.
And then if you're Bowling Green, I really honestly like what I see, but I would love to see the production. We've mentioned it. You actually had a story about it. The 3 Stooges. You've got Curly, Mo, and Larry, Braden Curlis, Carter Motice, and Alex Laird. They've been very solid, but I'd like to see their batting get up just a tick more, a couple more hits, and then Gavin Gannon. He's got a strikeout problem. That is not opinion, that is fact. He had 3 or 4 yesterday.
He had 3 in the first game yesterday. And then Gannon actually did not strike out that second game, went 1 for 4 with a walk, but like you mentioned, went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and 2 walks in the first game.
It's just something he's got to cut down on in this batting order because everybody can hit. Even Gannon, Coach Kyle Halleck has said it, he's the strongest guy on the team, but to be one of the strongest guys, you got to make contact with that ball. And when you're striking out swinging, I'd just like to see him have a little bit more decision-making happening above home plate where maybe I'm not going to put my entire body into this ball. I'm going to eye it in a little bit more. He's 3rd in the MAC in strikeouts. He's only 2 behind first place. He was leading for a majority of the year. That's just the number one thing I want to see him cut down on because he's a great batter, Tyler.
Yeah, it would be good to see Gannon cut down on the strikeouts. We'll see how Eastern Michigan attacks him here today. The batting orders for both of these teams are in. We'll start with Eastern Michigan. They'll lead off with Gianno Zaccaro. He will be in left field, a left-handed batter. Logan Hugo bats second. He's over in right. Harrison Travis bats third. He's behind the plate. Devin Zyrus bats clean up in the 4-hole. He's over at first base. Ty Stecco bats fifth. He's over at third. Batting sixth is Brendan Kleiman. He is the designated hitter. John Hale bats seventh out in center field. Drew Jones bats eighth at second base. And rounding out the batting order is Cooper Vance. He bats ninth and will play over at short. The starting pitcher for Eastern Michigan is Tyler Kappa. For Bowling Green, they'll lead it off, and they'll actually have the same lineup as yesterday. They'll lead it off with Gunnar Antillion. He'll play short. Garrett Wright bats second behind the plate. Gavin Gannon bats third over at first. TJ Tackett bats cleanup out in center field. Zach Horkey bats fifth in right field. Caden Parker bats sixth. He's the designated hitter. Braden Curlis bats seventh. He's at second. Carter Motice bats eighth in left field. And Alex Laird rounds things up, batting ninth over at third base. The starting pitcher for Bowling Green here on this Sunday afternoon is Landon Williman.
Yeah.
And interestingly, Chaz, for Bowling Green, they're still missing 3 of those key players there. DJ Newman, Sam Seidel, Brady Birchmeyer, all 9 in the lineup for the Falcons for the third straight game.
And I think that's okay. I mean, you look at what the Falcons did yesterday. The bats did not cool down just because Newman, Seidel, and Birchmeyer weren't in there. I like the fact that we've seen Laird stepping up a lot. Motice came in as more of a question
Laird
mark.
is really that main guy that got that opportunity to get back in the lineup with the absence of Sam Seidel, with the infield shifting around because of that loss.
And in the 9-hole as well, he's a very good 9-hole hitter.
Yeah.
He's not going to be as consistent, but when you get to that 9-hole, you start to run a little bit more out of depth in your hitters. When you get to Laird, though, he's able to make contact. He struggled, like you mentioned, earlier in the season, but now there's almost no doubt in my mind when he goes up there that he's going to make a play, whether it's forcing a walk, getting a quick hit, and then bringing up a front-loaded leadoff with Gunnar Antillion and Garrett Wright.
So we will head to the national anthem here in just a few moments. We'll step away. When we come back, we will have first pitch here at Stellar Field between Bowling Green and Eastern Michigan. You're listening to BGSU Baseball on Falcon Radio.
BG Men's Golf competes in the MAC Championship at Pinnacle Golf Course in Grove City, Ohio from Sunday, April 27th through Tuesday, April 29th. Check out the recap of the event by Falcon Media Sports Network sponsor Rostai on bgfalconmedia.com.
BG Women's Track and Field heads to Akron for the Northeast Ohio Open on Thursday, May 8th and Friday, May 9th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Foster Ostai will have the recap for the event on bgfalconmedia.com.
I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but Miss Araceli, she gave me direction.
At age 47, Marco finished his high school diploma.
50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
BGSU Baseball continues their weekend series against Eastern Michigan on Friday, April 26th. Tune in to Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kablitz and Chaz McNeil beginning at 12:45 for pregame and 1 p.m. for first pitch on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com. Moments away from first pitch here at Stellar Field between BGSU and Eastern Michigan. Falcons going for the 3-game sweep against the Eagles. Eastern Michigan looking to get a win and stay in the picture for the MAC tournament. They are the 6th seed on the bubble currently. Defensive positioning once again for the Falcons. It's Garrett Wright behind the plate, Landon Williman on the mound. That's the battery. Gavin Gunnun's over at first, Braden Curlis at second, Gunnar Antillion at short, Alex Laird at third, outfield left to right, Carter Motice, TJ Tackett, and Zach Corky. Landon Williman on the year is 1-0. This will be his 10th appearance and 9th start of the season. He holds a 6 ERA even, 36 innings pitched. He's given up 18 walks and struck out 29. Opponents hit .245 against the senior right-hander for Bowling Green.
And Tyler, Bowling Green wearing their bright orange uniforms with the orange caps. We don't know if they do it on purpose, but it seems like they always rock these out when there's a sweep on the line.
Yeah, it appears any big games like Michigan games or any, like you said, sweeps, the Falcons break out those all oranges. Orange pants, orange jerseys, orange caps. And there is some history at stake here for Bowling Green here today. With a win, they would not only secure their first 3-game conference series sweep since Central Michigan at the end of March, it would also mark the first sweep against Eastern Michigan home or away since 1973. And an interesting fact about that one is Danny Schmitz, who was the head coach here for 30 years, who was a graduate of Eastern Michigan, never swept Eastern Michigan. So Kyle Halleck and the Falcons have a chance to do something that has not been done for Bowling Green in quite a long time.
Nearly 50 years, Tyler. And you mentioned it.
Actually, I think that's...
Wait.
83, 93, oh, that's over 50 years.
What was it? Was 3? Oh.
1970, yeah.
Oh.
That's 52 years.
That's okay. But not a math guy as Ben Korak, our hockey. What doesn't he do? Hockey, volleyball, softball. He's not a math guy, and Chaz McNeil also apparently not a math guy. But you're right, Tyler. And you mentioned on the broadcast yesterday, Eastern Michigan in this series historically has kind of had the Falcons' number. And Bowling Green, they won the series last year, but that was a team that was rolling.
They have had success against Eastern Michigan as of late in the series. 2 wins taken against the Eagles in 3 straight seasons. First pitch from Landon Williman is up high. We are underway at Stellar Field. First pitch coming in at 12:59 p.m., minute ahead of schedule.
And one key to watch here with the pitching is yesterday a lot of both teams' pitchers struggle with control.
Gianno Zaccaro now looks at a strike. Count goes to 1-1. Umpires for today, Robert Lothian behind the plate. Kevin Conder over at first, and Justin Birch is over at third. Williman from the windup delivers to the plate, catches the outside corner. Count moves to 1-2.
And Zaccaro, one of the best batters on this team, as a leadoff guy. Obviously, his batting average isn't the highest, but he's got 22 hits for 27 runs, 2 homers, and 7 doubles.
The pitch from Mulliman misses up high for a ball. Count goes even to 2-2. Also has that on-base percentage up at 400, so he is a decently high on-base guy, even though that batting average just 234. He was a dominant hitter last season for the Eagles. He drives this one right center field. Going back is Horky. That one's going to go to the wall. One hops the wall. And rounding first and heading into second with a stand-up leadoff double is Gianno Zaccaro to get things underway for Eastern Michigan.
And that was a tough ball for Horky. It's careening to the left. It's going into right field. Tackett and Horky both went after it. Tackett at a point gave up because of where it was going. And you could tell from Horky he wasn't going to make the catch. The issue was that ball hit the warning track. Grass bounces differently than dirt. It just kind of rolled. Horky couldn't get a good grip on it. And now Zaccaro stands up at second, bringing up Hugo, who's probably the strongest batter on this team, 311 batting average. He's got 9 homers, tied for the most on this team. He can launch a moonball, and he's got 44 RBIs.
Big swing and a miss on the first pitch from Landon Williman. He starts behind in the count. Hugo went hitless in the first game yesterday, 0 for 4. But he did collect 2 hits and drove in 2 runs in the second game. Williman now working from the stretch with the runner on second, delivers home. This one popped up into right field. Settling under it is Horky. He makes the catch. Zaccaro's going to tag. Here comes the throw from Horky to third. It's going to be there, but a bit offline. And tagging up from second to third is Zaccaro. So Eastern Michigan with the first run of the game just 90 feet away over at third with 1 out in the inning.
Zaccaro's got to be a little gassed there. He goes from first to second to third in about a minute. And then you look at the throw by Horky in that play as well. Great throw, great distance. It did take 1 bounce to get to Laird, but considering how much power he had to put behind that ball, it was pretty well targeted.
It beat Zaccaro to the bag. It was just offline behind the bag. Otherwise, it would have been a bang-bang play. Harrison Travis into the box for the Eagles. First pitch from Williman, off speed, catches the outside corner for a strike.
That was a nasty off speed there by Williman as well, careening from the left to the right in seconds and then falling right into the strike zone of Travis.
Williman still working from the stretch, delivers fastball, swing and a miss up high. And Harrison Travis, just like that, down in the count 0-2 quickly. Travis, a 304 batter this season. In the second game yesterday, went just 1 for 3 after going 0 for 5 in the first game.
Travis actually got switched out at a point for Jones.
And he swings and misses at this one. Landon Williman with his first strikeout of the day. There's 2 outs in the inning with Devin Zyrus, the cleanup hitter, coming up to bat.
And Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that the 3rd time already today that Williman has had 2 strikeouts on a batter, and he's only faced 3 batters? But the other 2 swung on something that they liked. One gets home, the other gets into the glove of Horky, but Landon Williman's been on it so far today through 3.
He's been solid. We'll get into it a little later, but he's had a rough stretch as of late as he misses the first pitch to Zyrus down low.
Tyler, you just say the word about that as well. I've got the numbers on Williman when we want to do a deep dive.
We'll get into that in just a little bit.
You said now? All right, well.
The next pitch from Williman, up high and outside, 2-0. This is where Williman has had trouble as of late. When he gets these 2 outs, he's had trouble putting away the innings as he gets behind to the count to Zyrus. Zyrus, a .331 batter this season. Off speed, catches the zone for a strike, and the count moves to 2-1.
29 to 18 strikeout to walk ratio, though. Pretty solid on his part. 6 ERA even.
Williman's next pitch, off speed, just misses off the outside corner of the plate. And the count moves to 3-1, 2 outs here in the top of the first, scoreless between Bowling Green and Eastern Michigan. Eagles have a runner 90 feet away over at third, and Gianno Zaccaro.
That ball did not miss by much on that pitch, just a bit outside.
Williman's next pitch catches the zone. Had Zyrus, almost a check swing, wanted to go, held back, caught the inside part of the plate, and the count goes full to 3-2 with 2 outs in the top of the first.
And this would be massive for Williman, a big confidence boost if you can essentially go 1-2-3.
The pitch is fouled off to the left side. We'll do it again at 3-2.
That being said, though, Zyrus, got to give him his flowers. Battling right now, he had a pretty advantageous count, 3-1. Williman gets back in it, but right now he is battling with the senior pitcher.
Zyrus 2 for 7 so far in this series through 2 games. Fouls it off to the left side once again. 2 straight foul balls and a full count by Zyrus, the left-handed batter. On deck, if Zyrus could reach, is Ty Stecco, the third baseman and the 5-hole hitter for Eastern Michigan. Williman looking to get out of the first without allowing a run. His pitch is a bit down low and inside. Got a bit of a check swing from Zyrus. He did not go, and the appeal down to third base umpire Justin Birch confirms it. So it will be a 2-out walk from Landon Williman. Runners on the corners for Eastern Michigan, and Ty Stecco coming to the plate.
Coach Kyle Halleck having a word with home plate umpire right now currently. That's Robert Lothian. Halleck, throughout this series, has not really liked a lot of the officiating of the umpires. He's getting things figured out now.
Halleck possibly seeing if it was a foul tip. I believe that's what Halleck was trying to signal.
Nothing will come
He
of
does
that.
not look excited heading back to the dugout, to say the least, as Ty Stecco steps into the box.
Stecco with a RBI home run in the second game.
Williman's first pitch off speed, misses outside for a ball.
And that's one thing about Ty Stecco. He does have the power. It'll be interesting to see if Williman tries to lead him a little bit. I mean, you look at his numbers, 311 batting average, 9 homers, 5 doubles. In 103 at-bats, he's got 32 hits.
Big
for
swing and a
29
miss
runs.
on the fastball up and inside by Williman. A nice pitch to even up the count at 1-1. Devin Zyrus stands at first. Gianno Zaccaro over on third. 2 outs in the inning still for Bowling Green. The 1-1 pitch from Williman, down low and outside for a ball. Williman falls behind to the count for the second straight batter.
Bowling Green also not really leaning a certain way in their defensive stance, just kind of the basic what you would
Pretty much
see.
straight up. The next pitch from Williman, down low and outside with the off-speed this time, and it's a 3-1 count on Ty Stecco.
Pun not intended here, Tyler, but this is a big swing moment for Bowling Green and Eastern Michigan, as if Williman throws one more walk, you've got the bases loaded.
His next pitch swung on and popped up to the right side. We'll see if it stays in play. It will not. Goes foul down that right field line. So the count goes full for the second straight batter. 3-2 with 2 outs. The runner on first and Zyrus will be off and running with the pitch.
So yet again, we see Landon Williman here filling up the count. Now it's up to Stecco to see if he can break the senior.
Williman comes set. Leg kick and his delivery. All speed swing and a miss. Landon Williman gets his second strikeout of the inning. Eastern Michigan had runners on the corners, unable to get a run home. We head to the bottom of the first. Bowling Green coming to bat for the first time today when we come back right here on Falcon Radio.
BG Women's Track and Field heads to Columbus, Ohio for the Jesse Owens Classic on Friday, May 2nd and Saturday, May 3rd. Check out the recap of the event by Falcon Media Sport Network's Artie Abrego on bgfalconmedia.com.
On Saturday, May 3rd, BGSU softball battles Robert Morris in a doubleheader. Game 1 is slated for 1 p.m. Catch Ben Korak and Henry Costco on the call on Falcon Radio.
Pitcher on the mound for Eastern Michigan is Tyler Kappa. A right-handed arm for the Eagles is 3-4 this season, a 736 earned run average. This will be his 11th appearance and 10th start of the year. He has thrown a complete game this season. 44 innings pitched for Kappa. He's allowed 58 hits and 28 walks, but does have 59 strikeouts on the year. A big strikeout guy on the mound for Eastern Michigan. Opponents hit .322 against Kappa.
Tyler, also, might we add, Alex Kappa, the reigning MAC co-pitcher of the week. And that's mainly coming off of a 6-inning performance where he allowed just 1 hit for no runs, had 2 walks to 11 strikeouts, and he did hit 1 batter with the pitch, but that was about it. And with a 736 average on the year, this is really the ace in the hole for Eastern Michigan.
Indeed it is. This is the arm that we were wondering who they had. This is who they were saving. Kappa is a transfer from Davenport University. Played at Mott Community College before that. He'll face Gunnar Antillion. First pitch swinging. Antillion lines it up the middle. 1 pitch and a leadoff single to get things started for Gunnar Antillion and the Falcons. He stays red hot at the plate. Been one of the hottest hitters in the nation over the past 2 weeks.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Tyler. I was just about to say they got to check that bat for flames or something, because every single time he is up above home plate, it feels like he can just mash that baseball. And now with Garrett Wright, Antillion forming a really good leadoff batter role, as it feels like he's always on first.
And it helps having this guy at the plate, Garrett Wright, behind him. First pitch looks it in, all speed for a strike. Wright provides some protection for Antillion. Pitchers can't really pitch around him because they know they have Garrett Wright behind him.
And that was one tough off speed that we just saw from Kappa.
Next pitch, a fastball that ran inside on Wright, fouled it off down the right side. So he's down to the count quickly, 0-2. Wright this season with just 16 strikeouts to 21 walks.
And for Eastern Michigan, you get Wright down early. That is a big batter.
Time called at the plate by home plate umpire Robert Lothian. And may have a pitch comm issue, an equipment issue with the catcher Harrison Travis.
So, Tyler, while we have a quick break here, I do want to add, Garrett Wright broke his own program record for hit by pitches. One of his least favorite statistics whenever you ask him. But for whatever reason, he is a baseball magnet, and it goes a long way to getting him on first. He's got a .546 on-base percentage, one of the best on-base players in the entire nation. And on top of that, one of the best in the hit-by-pitch category, as we found out.
As he pops this one up towards the back, and that's going to go into the stands just in front of us. Like you mentioned, that on-base percentage leads the Mid-American Conference. 22 hit-by pitches for Garrett Wright this season. As you mentioned, a new single-season program record, breaking his own of 21 that he set last year. He's been hit by 43 pitches over the past 2 years, which is right around the 5th most in the country over that span. Wright looks at an all-speed down in the dirt for a ball. Count moves to 1-2 on Garrett Wright, the reigning MAC Freshman of the Year. Also earned the All-MAC First Team and All-MAC Defensive Team honors last season.
And also Freshman of the Year award at the Ziggies, which you can catch on theziggies.com.
And for more information about the Ziggies, which is BGSU's end-of-year awards show that Falcon Media Sports Network had a huge part in providing coverage for, you can head over to, like Chaz said, theziggies.com. And go over to bgfalconmedia.com to see all Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media's work. Wright looks at another ball outside. Count goes even to 2-2.
Tyler, you actually gave out that award. That was a cool special moment, as obviously as a baseball beat giving it out.
And you can also view Garrett Wright's interview after winning the award on theziggies.com as he lines this one in left field. Off and moving on the pitch was Antillion, so he goes easily into third base, and it's runners on the corners for Bowling Green after 2 singles with nobody out here at the bottom of the first.
You can view that interview, like you mentioned, Tyler, and view what was a perfect line that died at the right time in between Zaccaro and Hale. That was not gettable for either of them. You couldn't adjust in time, right over the head of Vance, and just like that, 2 batters up, 2 batters hitting, and 1 threatening in the form of Gunnar Antillion on third.
Gavin Gannon up to the plate for Bowling Green. First pitch to Gannon looks at the ball down and low and outside. Kappa, in his 2024 season at Davenport, did not start. All 19 of his appearances were relief appearances, had a .517 earned run average, and a 1-2 record. So starting, something new that he's been doing at Eastern Michigan this season, as this fastball runs inside on Gavin. 2-0 count on Ganun. He was a high strikeout guy at Davenport, though, like he is now. 28 strikeouts in 15 2/3 innings pitched. Ganun lines this one into right field. That gets down. RBI single for Gavin Ganun as Gunnar Antillion comes home to score. Advancing to second is Garrett Wright. Falcons on the board first. They lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning.
Tyler, this is the dream situation for Bowling Green and a nightmare for EMU, as you just brought your ace out and he's gotten lit up. 3 straight hits, all singles, peppering the base paths are Bowling Green. Runners on second as Wright is, runner on first as Ganun is, and like we mentioned in the pregame, Ganun got to cut down on the strikeouts. I think you might have heard us. He just got a very good hit there over the head of Jones and Zerwis.
Didn't do too much with it, just took it the other way. TJ Tackett's the cleanup hitter. Comes up to the plate, runners on first and second with nobody out for him. Shows bunt. Don't see that often from Tackett. Pulls it back, and it misses for a ball. Tackett's this season batting .270, but has a .420 on-base percentage.
Was the former leadoff guy for the Falcons before Antillion got hot.
Shows bunt again, lays it down, but foul. Antillion, his 4th straight game in that leadoff spot for Bowling Green. And Tackett's had held it, like you said, for most of the season. Didn't start in that position, started here in the cleanup, but did have the leadoff spot for a lot of this 2025 season.
And going back to Tackett's, there's been 41 games for the Falcons. He's played and started in 37 of those, and in those, he's
Kickoff
had
attempts here to
runs.
second, but back in time is Garrett Wright standing. That was a close one.
100%. And, I mean, if you're Eastern Michigan, you still got no outs. This is your 4th batter up. A run's already been scored on you. Trying to get right out there, smart move. The pickoff, not quick enough. Wright now taking a little bit of a lesser lead.
Tackett's doesn't show bunt here. Looks at a fastball, miss up high for a ball. 2-1 the count against TJ Tackett's. Kappa, a senior out there on the mound for Eastern Michigan. Waterford, Michigan native.
And we mentioned the bullpen woes. You would like to see Kappa go a pretty far distance, but if he keeps getting rocked here, wouldn't be surprised if we see an arm up in the bullpen, but there isn't one yet.
Fastball catches the outside corner, count even to 2-2. Hasn't allowed the big hit yet. It's been 3 straight singles by Bowling Green. His next pitch to Tackett's grounded foul down the first baseline.
Good contact there by Tackett's, but unable to really wind that one up into the fair territory as it went to the right of the first base bag.
Tackett's back into the batter's box, the left-handed batter. Awaits the 2-2 pitch from Kappa. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Tackett's. He goes down on strikes for the first out for the Falcons here in this first inning. And it'll bring up Zach Corky with runners on first and second.
And Tackett's had a couple hits yesterday, but not the strongest combined outings. Didn't have a hit in the first game as he walked ground out. He walked 3 times. But that brings up Zach Horkey, like you mentioned, Tyler.
First pitch to Horkey. Up and inside for a ball. 63 degrees here in Bowling Green today, and we'll get up to 67 by the time this game is done. Not a cloud in the sky looking out of the press box. Just a 3-mile-per-hour breeze. And it feels like 67 out there right now. The next pitch is driven up the middle by Zach Corky. That finds outfield grass. They're going to send Garrett right around. There won't be a throw home. An RBI single for Zach Corky. And Bowling Green extends their lead to 2-0 here in the bottom of the first.
Not crazy distance on any of these baseballs today for the Falcons, but it's just what you need as they are chipping away here early at EMU. Only 1 out, and we're already just 3 players away from batting through the order, Tyler.
Ganun advanced to second on the RBI single from Horkey. Brings up Caden Parker. Bowling Green's lead now 2-0, still just one out in the inning. Parker swinging first pitch, fouls it off to the right side.
And Tyler, it's nice to see Caden Parker back up in this lineup. It seems like he might be here for a little bit, as he has been in 2 out of 3 of these games. He appeared as a pinch batter a couple of games ago, but now trying to keep a starting spot. He's the DH today.
This one up and in for a ball against Parker, 1-1. Parker transferred into Bowling Green last season, was a starter in left field for much of the season. Westland, Oregon native, the senior. He's batting .241 this season, his 32nd game and 30th start of the year. The 1-1 pitch from Kappa, swing and a miss by Parker. Went after the high fastball, and the throw back from Travis wasn't fielded cleanly by Kappa. Rolled off the mound towards first base. Kappa scrambled to go pick it up. Staying on second was Gavigan on, so no harm done. But could have been disaster there for Eastern Michigan on a routine play. The 1-2 pitch to Parker. Lines this one into right field. That gets down. They're going to send Gavigan on around. There won't be a throw in to home, and it's an RBI single for Caden Parker. 5 singles in the first inning for Bowling Green, and their lead's at 3-0. Runners on the corners, still just 1 out.
You know what this game reminds me of, Tyler, right now, currently? That 17 RBI, or that 17 single game the Falcons had earlier this year. Didn't record any other distance of hit besides a single. Now, it's a little bit early, but we are going to have a conversation at the mound with the entire infield. Nobody warming up in the bullpen, just trying to calm Kappa down. As you know, Tyler, I found out today you were a reliever when you played baseball as a pitcher.
I started a little bit. My later years, I was more of a reliever. Yeah, that's correct. But this would be big for Eastern Michigan if they can't get Kappa to go far, because, I mean, we talked about it. The amount of pitchers they had to use in games yesterday, they used 4 in that first game. Or, apologies, they used 7 in the first game and 4 in the second game. They unloaded a ton of their artillery out of the bullpen. Kappa's going to stay in the game for now. He's gone. He's been a starter that's given them length. His last 4 appearances, 5 innings, 5 1/3, 3 1/3, and 6. He's only gone under 3 innings pitched just 2 times this season. An inning and 2/3 in the second game of a doubleheader against Western Michigan, and the 2 innings in a second game against Miami of Ohio. First pitch is a strike into Braden Curlis, the 7-hole batter for Bowling Green, the start of those 3 straight freshmen for the Falcons in the 7-8-9. Have earned the nickname of the Three Stooges, as we talked about pregame. Curlis fouls this to the back. Braden Curlis is Curly. Carter Motice is Mo. And Alex Laird is Larry.
You ever watch the Three Stooges?
I love the Three Stooges.
Yeah, you would.
What's that mean?
It just seems like your style of thing.
Three Stooges are great comedy. The 0-2 pitch, down low and outside for a ball.
I got my comedy from SpongeBob as a child. I don't know about you, Tyler.
I mean, SpongeBob's good, but Three Stooges is, it's legendary. Kappa comes set. His 1-2 delivery. Down low in the dirt once again. A nice stop by Travis behind the plate. Travis, as we've seen in this series, a pretty solid defensive catcher behind the dish. The count's even at 2-2 on Braden Curlis. Runners on first and third for Bowling Green. It's Caden Parker over at first and Zach Corky on third. Still just 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Bowling Green leads 3-0, and it's a swing and a miss by Braden Curlis. He goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. Second strikeout of the frame for Kappa.
And right there, it was really just when you've been a pitcher, when you are a pitcher, it is a very heady game. And you can really find yourself getting out of your groove quickly. So for Kappa to get a strikeout on Curtis, who isn't the biggest strikeout guy in the world, he's got not many. It's just one of those situations that now you might prevent batting through the lineup here with Carter Motice up to bat.
First pitch to Motice was up high and outside for a ball. This one catches the outside corner for a strike. Motice this season batting .293, made his collegiate debut a few weeks ago at Youngstown State. We were there for that game. 2 opposite field doubles and a few runs batted in for Mo Tyson, his debut. A big swing and a miss at the fastball up high, and stealing second is Caden Parker. I'm not even sure they knew he was going. May have been a bit of a delayed steal possibly as the throw was going back to Kappa. He turned around and saw Parker running to second, dropped the ball, had no chance to throw it.
I think it was a bit of a nerves thing there. You dropped that ball.
As it's fouled off to the left side by Mo Tyson.
Because if you want to get that play to get Parker out, it's got to be bang, bang, bang. Catcher to pitcher to the shortstop, and that just did not end up happening. It was a slow throw from Travis to Kappa.
The 1-2 pitch, Mo Tyson flies this out into left field. Zaccaro chasing it towards the line, makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Bowling Green strands 2 runners, but they do score 3 in the bottom of the first. Lead 3-0 as we head to the top of the second here at Stellar Field on Falcon Radio.
The MAC Baseball Tournament will take place from May 21st through May 24th in Avon, Ohio. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kaplitz and Chaz McNeil will have a call of every BGSU game while also providing coverage for every game on the BG_FMSN account on Twitter X.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
Back here at Stellar Field, Bowling Green with the early 3-0 lead as we head to the top of the second. For Eastern Michigan, it'll be 6, 7, 8, 2 up in the order. Brendan Clayman, John Hale, and Drew Jones. Landon Williman worked a clean first inning. Got into some danger early with a runner that reached third, but worked out of it. And Chaz, we hinted at it in the first. Let's do a little bit of a deep dive here on Williman. This is a guy that started the year pretty strong for Bowling Green. 2 of his first 3 outings were one run allowed outings in 4 and 5 innings. He only had 1 outing in his first 6 that he allowed more than 3 runs. He's allowed 3 or more runs in each of his last 3 outings, which have spanned just 5-2 in 3 innings pitched. As he throws in the first pitch strike to Brendan Kleiman, what have you seen from Williman as of late that has led to some of those struggles?
I mean, you look at it in the past 4 games against Kent, Central Michigan, Miami, and Ball State. Williman, the primary Sunday starter, he's allowed 5-4-4-4 hits.
As Williman misses up high, a 1-2 count now on Brendan Kleiman.
Each of those resulting in 4 runs, 4 runs, 3 runs, 5 runs, 2 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 3, and then 4. And then you look at it just a little bit deeper. When you go to the long ball against Central Michigan in a win, he allowed 4 doubles. He's allowed a home run against Central and a home run against Miami. It's just been a bit of a tough couple of outings for him. The earned run, the wild pitches too, don't help. He has a wild against Central and Miami.
As he misses down and low with the off-speed, back-to-back pitches. So the count goes full to 3-2. Williman from the windup. His delivery fouled off to the right side. He was one of the most consistent starters, if not the most consistent starter to begin the year for Bowling Green.
He was even getting talks to be the Saturday guy when Nick Good was having his struggles. And now you look at it, his number one key is distance.
As his pitch is fouled off to the right once again. Back-to-back foul balls by Kleiman and a full count.
He's a distance player. He's played in 9 games, started all 9 of them, and in those, he's only gone 3 innings and 2 innings 4 total times.
His full count pitch once again, up high and inside. Backing away from it is Kleiman. He gets a free 90 feet. It's the second walk allowed of the game by Landon Williman, and he allows a leadoff base runner for the second inning in a row for the Eagles.
And if you're Bowling Green, at this point, you know that the control has been a bit of an issue now for Williman, but what you want to do is almost force a little contact, as Bowling Green is one of the better fielding teams in the MAC. They're 5th with a .969 fielding percentage.
Williman's first pitch to John Hill, up high and inside with the off-speed. Falcons have broken their program record for fielding percentage in each of the past 2 seasons.
It'll be a tough pull to do this year.
The 1-0 pitch misses up high and inside once again by Williman. So he starts behind in the count, 2-0 to John Hale, the center fielder for Eastern Michigan. Hale went 1 for 5 in the second game yesterday. Appeared as a pinch hitter in the first game and drew a walk in his only plate appearance.
Hale trying to just get a solidified spot here.
Nice frame job by Garrett Wright behind the plate. Pulls in the fastball from the outside corner to the dish and gets the call. Count moves to 2-1 on Hale.
And Tyler, we bring up how much Garrett Wright does above home plate.
Another one on the outside corner, beautifully painted by Landon Williman, and the count goes even to 2-2.
But I don't think we talk about what he does behind home plate enough. He's one of the best defensive players in the MAC, and I'd argue to say that as a catcher, he has the best framing of any MAC catcher.
I don't think you get much argument with that discussion. All-MAC defensive team honoree last season, Garrett Wright. Found to the back there by Hale. Count stays at 2-2. Hale, an Ashland City, Tennessee native. Transfer from Montlaw State Community College. He fouls this one off to the right side once again. Hale spent 2 seasons at Montlaw State Community College.
And we've seen this be the key for Eastern Michigan. Yes, they haven't scored a run today, but right now they're battling with Williman. And when you do that, you can kind of force a little bit of errant throws that will result in a walk, and that's what Hale's attempting to do.
The 2-2 pitch once again from Williman, fouled off once again by John Hale. He's putting up a good fight at the plate. Hale comes into this game batting .280 on the season. 5 doubles and 3 home runs for him, 24 runs batted in. Does have 23 strikeouts on the year compared to just 15 walks.
Still sitting at 2 balls here.
He ropes this one down the left side, gave it a ride, but foul. And the count stays at 2-2 after a few foul balls in a row by John Hale. Continuing to fight at the plate, making it a tough out for Landon Williman.
Hale a bit late on that one. If he times that up pretty well, that ball had good carry.
Williman from the stretch delivers once again. Fastball up high. Count goes full to 3-2. Still nobody out here in the top of the second. Runner on first for Eastern Michigan. The Falcons lead the Eagles 3-0.
And it will be interesting to see what Hale does here. Will he battle or will he keep the bat?
Lined up the middle by Hale. Tackett takes a few steps back, settles under it, and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Retreating back to first is Kleiman.
I didn't even get to finish my point before he answered my question. That bat did get off his shoulder, and that was a very well-hit ball. It was lined, but T.J. Tackett's, again, another player, he stepped in some pretty big shoes this last season, filling in for Nathan Archer, who was drafted in the 12th round by the Chicago White Sox in 2024, and Tackett's has been doing a phenomenal job in center.
Nathan Archer a few weeks ago hitting his first professional home run.
Yep.
In the minor leagues, playing in single A currently. Was one of the best center fielders in the MAC for a few years. This one by Drew Jones, popped up to the right side, chasing after it. Gavigan in foul territory. He made the catch. Gavigan chased that one in foul territory, really towards the Eastern Michigan bullpen down there in right field, and made the catch. Almost aligned with the Eastern Michigan dugout for the second out of the inning. So Drew Jones fouls out, and it brings up Cooper Vance.
And Tyler, you mentioned earlier today about Brady Birchmeyer, the traditional first baseman for Bowling Green, not being in the lineup. Gavin Gannon at first base has been a very good fill-in, as he did that a lot last year.
Cooper Vance shows bunt, pulls it back, it misses for a ball. He has been solid defensively. Gavigan at first. That was a big question with how great in the field that Brady Birchmeyer has been this season. What could Gavigan do in replace over at first? And he has been solid. Fastball catches the outside corner for Williman. Count goes even to 1-1. Cooper Vance, new Waterford, Ohio native, junior infielder for the Eagles. Looks at the ball down and outside. Count moves to 2-1.
And with 2 outs, this is a big swing moment for Williman. He's had a little bit of danger, but he's been doing a good job.
Next pitch is swung on and lined out to center field. TJ Tackett barely has the move. Takes a few steps in and makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the second here at Stellar Field. Bowling Green leads Eastern Michigan 3-0 right here on Falcon Radio.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com. For Bowling Green, it'll be Alex Laird, the 9-hole hitter, and then top of the order with Gunnar Antillion and Garrett Wright due up for the Falcons. Tyler Kappa going to work into his second inning for the Eagles. Bowling Green got to him in the first. 5 singles off of Kappa. They scored 3 runs. They have a 3-0 lead here at Stellar Field. Tyler Kamlitz alongside Chaz McNeil for the Falcon Media Sports Network here with you for this one. It's been a fun series so far, Chaz, and this game's off to a fun start as well.
Yeah, it has, Tyler. And I got to say, I believe this is the first series all year that you and I have done all 3 games together.
I think it is. Well, can we say that we've done all 3? We didn't call the start of the first one that was on Friday, so a little bit of an asterisk there.
Nah, let's be honest. We called the majority of the first game because there were an unaccounted for 6 innings that we had to call.
Laird fouls the first pitch off before the next one by Kappa. Barely misses with the fastball. Count sits at 1-1 on Alex Laird. The last of these 3 freshmen at the bottom of the order for Bowling Green. Laird swing and a miss, goes down in the count 1-2. He has had a bit of a strikeout problem at times this year, 20 strikeouts and 54 at-bats. His batting average, though, up to .296. The 1-2 pitch by Kappa. Got him looking. Kappa went down and outside and got Laird looking. Laird's 21st strikeout this season, and Kappa's third of the game. 1 out here in the second. And we go to the top of the order with Gunnar Antillion, who started things off at the bottom of the first for Bowling Green with the first of those 5 singles in the first frame.
And it was a first pitch hit as well. And this will be huge for EMU if Kappa can settle in a little bit, get down some of these top batters for Bowling Green. There's pitchers in the bullpen, but nobody's actually throwing or stretching just yet.
Count moves to 1-1 on Gunnar Antillion. Looked at a first pitch ball before an off-speed thrown in by Kappa finds the zone. Kappa from the windup, big leg kick delivery. Misses for a ball with the breaking ball.
That ball just dropped a little bit below the strike zone. That was a very good pitch by Kappa, just unable to get that in the square.
Kappa with a pretty big leg kick on his windup. As this one skied to the right side by Antillion. Chasing after it and making the catch. I believe that was the second baseman, Drew Jones. It was Drew Jones. Came all the way, went past Zyrus over at first to make that catch in foul territory. Gunnar Antillion retired for the first time today. And there's a quick 2 outs for Bowling Green. Kappa and Eastern Michigan looking to work a 1-2-3 inning here in the second.
But they do have a tough out to get now. Garrett Wright, who we've mentioned, so many statistical anomalies with this guy. He is just phenomenal in every stretch of the word. Mac leading 435 batting average. He's got 64 hits for 49 runs, 12 doubles, 4 triples, 7 homers. He got his 4th triple yesterday.
First pitch to Wright, catches the outside corner. Wright fouls this one off to the right side. So quickly behind the count, 0-2. Kappa one strike away from a 1-2-3 inning here in the second. Kappa's pitch misses up high with the fastball. Garrett Wright, one of the tougher strikeouts in the Mid-American Conference. The pitch from Kappa misses up high for the second straight in a row. The count moves to 2-2 on Garrett Wright. Wright singled his first time up. Coming off a 3 RBI game in the second game of the doubleheader yesterday. Wright grounds this left side, gets past a diving Stecco over at third to the outfield, and it's another single for Garrett Wright. He's 2 for 2 to start the day, and it'll bring up Gavigan with a runner on and 2 outs in the bottom of the second.
Good effort out of Stecco to dive at that baseball, but it just popped over his glove into the outfield. That was saved by Zaccaro. And now we saw yesterday, Tyler, Bowling Green did have a 2-out rally where they scored a couple good runs.
It was that 6th inning in the first game that I remember, though. All 4 runs came with 2 outs for Bowling Green. But what a series by Garrett Wright so far. First game goes 2 for 2 with 3 runs batted in, as it's a big swing and a miss by Ganon at the plate. And 2 walks for Wright in that game as well. And then the second game, Garrett Wright goes 1 for 3, 3 runs batted in, and a walk.
He is undoubtedly one of the top names in the MAC Player of the Year award, along with Evan Applewick from Miami of Ohio.
Another strike thrown in by Kappa. Count goes to 0-2. Kyle Halleck saying post-game yesterday that Garrett Wright impacts winning as much as any player you're ever going to meet at any level. And he said he is, in his opinion, the best at his position in his grade anywhere at any level. Wild pitch. Wright goes to second, and now he's going to try to go to third. Garrett Wright advances 2 bases on a wild pitch that spiked in front of Travis behind the plate and drifted all the way in front of the Bowling Green dugout.
And there were a couple big keys there that helped Wright advance from first to third, and that was, first, like you mentioned, the ball was spiked. Secondly, Travis lost it when it was up in the air. Now Travis having a word with the home plate umpire, Robert Lothian. But Garrett Wright, from the second that ball was pitched, he was moving, and he never stopped until he got to third base.
What effort by Garrett Wright puts him 90 feet away with 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch to Gavigan misses up high for a ball. Count goes even to 2-2.
And Gavin Gannon, he did have a single in his last at-bat, and right now this is a moment where you'd like to see that decision-making come in. If he's going to take a swing, make sure it's a good pitch.
The pitch to Gannon is chopped up the middle, and diving and making the snag is Vance at short. His throw, though, to first is offline, pulls Zyrus off the bag, and coming home to score is Garrett Wright. So Bowling Green extends their lead to 4-0. And still 2 outs in the inning with TJ Tackett coming to the plate.
Now might also be a good time to add that there is a run rule in play. It's 10 after 7.
Got a little bit to go before we get to that.
Well, it's good to always throw it in there. You always love an early dinner.
Tackett grounds the first pitch to the right side. It's going to be fielded by the second baseman in Jones. And getting back to the bag just in time is Zyrus. And that'll end the inning. But Bowling Green adds another to the board. They lead 4-0 as we go to the top of the third. We'll have the reveal of our trivia question when we come back right here on Falcon Radio. BG Softball faces Miami of Ohio in a doubleheader on Tuesday, April 29th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Henry Costco will be on the call, beginning at 12:45 for pregame and 1 p.m. for first pitch on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Welcome back to Stellar Field. Bowling Green leading Eastern Michigan 4-0 as we go to the top of the third. And we have reached time for our trivia question for today. So I will ask you this, Chaz, and Lucas Kleinmeyer back in the Falcon Radio studio. I'll pose this question to you guys, and then you'll have until the top of the fifth to give me a final answer. So the question today is, which MLB stadium hosted the first night game in MLB history? Is it A, Fenway Park, B, Crosley Field, C, Polo Grounds, or D, Wrigley Field?
I've got the answer. I know it. I don't want to say it because it'll give the answer away. But I know the answer.
Bunch shown here by Zaccaro before being pulled back. It's in there for a strike. Lucas, do you have any initial guesses?
I mean, I'm going to say Fenway Park.
That's a classic Tyler
Fenway,
leading question.
Fenway Park is what you're going to put in for now.
It's B.
You want Crosley Field?
It's Crosley.
All right, this one chopped up the middle, fielded by Williman, throws over to first. And Ganon steps on the back. Had to be pulled off a bit, but gets the out. One up, one down here in the top of the third for Eastern Michigan.
Fenway was my favorite park. That's why I said my answer. I'll go back to my studio now.
So we'll see if you guys have any change of hearts by the time we get to the top of the fifth.
Right fielder, Logan Hugo.
Lucas retreating into his dark basement where he is board-opping this game.
I wonder, do you think he has the lights on there in the studio?
Oh, there's no way. It's a beautiful day out. He'd rather be inside pressing buttons for hopefully less than 4 hours.
You got the lights on in there?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 2-0 count now on Logan Hugo. Hugo flew out to right field his first time up.
One thing about the Colleen Center as well, that is a cold building.
A little bit, yeah. It's a little bit of a brisk day here today. It's not the warmest.
It is. I'm rocking the hoodie. You're just toughing it out with the polo shirt.
I'm not going shorts, though. I'm not that crazy. This one's foul to the back. Count moves to 2-2 on Logan Hugo.
Hugo flew out in his last at-bat. And then on the week, he had a fly-out, a ground-out, a strikeout, a single, and 2 flyouts. So he is prone to popping them up.
Williman now from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Almost got Hugo to chase it out of the zone. It misses down and outside for ball 3. So the count goes full on Hugo with one out here in the top of the third. Bowling Green leading 4-0. The next pitch from Williman is popped up to the right side. We'll see if it stays in play. Ganon chasing it over towards the Eastern Michigan dugout. He made the catch.
Yet again, Gavin Ganon with the hero ball going on. The hat drops off, and I was going to mention the headband. He's got no headband today, Tyler.
He's been without that ninja headband that he was signature for over the past couple of weeks. Usually rocks an orange or white ninja headband, has been without it. We lost kind of vision of him going over towards that foul ball. Looks like he jumped up for it by the Eastern Michigan dugout and made the catch for the second out of the inning. Williman fires in a first pitch strike to Harrison Travis. Travis, a strikeout victim, back in the first. The next pitch is popped up foul behind us up here in the press box. And the count moves to 0-2 with 2 outs in the top of the third.
So with an 0-2 count, if you're Landon Williman, you might want to try and get a chase here, and he will do that with the off speed.
Misses outside. Count moves to 1-2.
I still think if you're Landon Williman, you're going to try and just taper it a bit on the outside and force a swing.
Tries to go outside, down and outside in the dirt.
Can't
get a chase. Count goes even to 2-2.
Do I say it a third time to see if he does it again? I think now he'll put one over the plate. That's my official Chaz McNeil prediction. You can book it.
The 2-2 pitch from Williman. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Harrison Travis down on strikes for the second straight at-bat, and it's a 1-2-3 inning worked by Landon Williman. We go to the bottom of the third. Bowling Green leading Eastern Michigan 4-0 here at Stellar Field on Falcon Radio.
BGSU Baseball starts a 3-game series against Northern Illinois on Thursday, May 15th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Chaz McNeil will call the game starting at 2:45 on Falcon Radio.
BGSU softball heads to South Bend, Indiana to battle the Notre Dame Fighting Irish on Thursday, May 1st at 5:30 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak will have a recap of the game on bgfalconmedia.com.
5-6-7 due up in the batting order for Bowling Green here in the bottom of the third. Zach Corky, Caden Parker, and Braden Curlis. Bowling Green leads Eastern Michigan 4-0 here at Stellar Field. A beautiful day, a little brisk, but really no clouds in the sky. Pastel blue out the press box window.
Alex Kappa remaining on the mound for EMU. And this will be an interesting test for him. He is a distance guy, like we have mentioned several times. You're going into another part of the batting order that got singles and RBIs off of him last time around in Horky and Caden Parker.
Alex Kappa.
Tyler Kappa. Alex Kappa, isn't he a football player?
The name sounds familiar. I think
I'll have you know, he played for the Bengals for the past 3 years. Before he left.
Say Bengals offensive lineman, I want to say, right?
Hang on.
I'm going to say right guard.
He's a guard for the Raiders.
Well, he was Bengals.
If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, Tyler, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
That's crazy. A 1-1 count on Zach Corky to begin the at-bat.
Have you never heard that?
No.
Wow.
Swing and a miss by Horky. Goes down the count 1-2.
Lucas, have you ever heard that saying, or am I just crazy?
You're crazy.
All right.
Tyler Kappa into the windup. Misses up high. Count goes even to 2-2. Bowling Green leading Eastern Michigan in hits 7-1 early on in this contest. The next pitch from Kappa, right down the middle of the fastball. Locked up Horky, got him looking. Fourth strikeout of the game for Kappa. His second strikeout looking. And it'll bring up Caden Parker with one out in the bottom of the third.
So you're telling me, Tyler, that number 40, Tyler Kappa, the right-handed pitcher that's 6'2", senior, 195, couldn't play guard in the NFL?
I'm going to say probably not. Not at a good level, at least.
Be better than the Bengals O-line.
First pitch swing. Caden Parker flies this into left field, and it's going to be caught by the left fielder, Zaccaro, who had to run in to make the grab. And there are two outs here in the bottom of the third, with Braden Curlis coming up to the plate. Curlis, a strikeout victim, his first time up.
And we could just be one out away from back-to-back 1, 2, 3 outings for both teams in this third. That would be a quick third.
First pitch ball by Kappa to Braden Curlis. Two of those three freshmen in the bottom of the order going down on strikeouts. First time through the lineup for Kappa. 1-1 count now on Curlis at the plate.
Curlis did strike out in his last at-bat.
The right-hander delivers down low and outside for a ball. 2-1 the count on Braden Curlis. 2 outs here, bottom of the third. Base pass clear. Bowling Green leading Eastern Michigan 4-0. Falcons looking for the series sweep over the Eagles for the first time since 1973. Eastern Michigan looking for a win to keep themselves afloat in the MAC tournament picture and not fall out of that picture. They currently hold the 6th seed, which is that final seed into the tournament. It's a full count now on Braden Curlis at 3-2. The next pitch misses off the outside corner with the off speed, and it's a 2-out walk drawn by Braden Curlis. It'll bring up Carter Motice.
Motice flew out in his last at-bat. We have yet of the Three Stooges to record a hit for the Orange and Brown. Falcons already at 7 hits today, and it's only the bottom of the third.
And that's just the first walk allowed by Kappa so far today.
And Tyler, a couple interesting updates in the stat column for the MAC. Central Michigan up 4-0 on Ball State, the current leader in the Mid-American Conference. Akron hold a 3-0 lead over Kent State.
That's an interesting one right there. Bunt laid down here by Carter Motice, gets past the pitcher in Kappa, and it's going to be a beautiful bunt single by Carter Motice. He couldn't have placed that one better.
That was perfectly placed by Carter Motice, and just as I say that, nobody of those three has recorded a hit. Now they have. Ask and you shall receive, and next up is Alex Laird with that strikeout. So as I was saying, top of the third, Akron 3-0 lead over Kent. Obviously a lot more baseball to be played, but very interesting outing so far besides this 4-0 BG Eastern game.
Yeah, some interesting results so far. We'll keep an eye on that scoreboard and update you throughout the game. First pitch ball to Alex Laird by Kappa. As he mentioned, Laird went down on strikes looking his first time up. Swings at this one, flies it out, shallow center field. Drifting out to the outfield grass is Drew Jones, the second baseman. He makes the catch to end the inning. Bowling Green held scoreless for the first inning today. We go to the top of the fourth. Falcons lead the Eagles 4-0. We'll have some On This Day in Baseball history coming up when we come back right here on Falcon Radio.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
As always, As always, have some On This Day in Baseball history here at the top of the fourth. So on this day, on April 27th, in 1926, a 17-year-old Mel Ott made his first Major League appearance with the New York Giants. He pinch hit for Jimmy Ring. Ott struck out as the Giants won 9-8 over the Phillies. He won't play regularly until the 1927 season. And then on this day, in 1947, Babe Ruth Day is held at Yankee Stadium. It draws a crowd of more than 58,000 people to honor the ailing star. In the game, Sid Hudson of the Washington Senators beat Spud Chandler and the Yankees in a 1-0 slugfest. A very low-scoring contest for Babe Ruth Day, yeah.
That must have been a fun game to watch.
Historical moment, though, in the history of baseball with Babe Ruth. And then on this day in 1983, Walter Johnson's 56-year-old record of 3,508 career strikeouts is eclipsed by Nolan Ryan. He strikes out the Montreal Expos pinch hitter Brad Mills in the 8th inning as the Houston Astros beat the Expos 4-2. It would just be the start for Nolan Ryan. And then on this day in 1990, Los Angeles Dodgers starting pitcher and BGSU alum Oral Hershiser will miss the rest of the season after undergoing surgery on his pitching shoulder. At that point, he had not missed a start since joining the club's rotation in 1984. This one's flied out deep left center field. It's going to one-hop to the wall, and it's going to be a stand-up leadoff double for Devin Zyrus to begin the top of the fourth for Eastern Michigan, giving some life to the Eagles here in the fourth frame.
Honestly, the Falcons are lucky that ball did not carry any further, as that was a hard-hit ball pretty high up, and it had some pretty good distance, just short of being the first home run of the day for EMU and first score, but still no outs. And like you mentioned, Zyrus on second. This is a good scoring opportunity.
Check swing here by Ty Stecco, and it goes off the bat foul. So what would have been a first pitch ball turns into a first pitch strike for Williman. Stecco, strikeout victim his first time up. Actually ended the first inning with a swinging strikeout. Williman's next pitch off speed, catches the inside corner for a strike. Count moves to 0-2 on Stecco.
Stecco struck out in his last appearance. He was the first recorded strikeout, or second recorded strikeout of the day for Landon Williman, who's having himself a nice baseball game.
The next pitch down low and outside by Williman for a ball. Stecco, a .311 batter coming into the game this season. 33 strikeouts to just 14 walks on the year. The 1-2 pitch from Williman. This one grounded left side of the infield. Fielded by Antillian at short. His throw a bit high. Pulls Ganon off the bag, but he tags out Stecco.
Yeah,
a nice play by Ganon.
Oh, my goodness, Tyler. You seeing what I'm seeing? He jumps off the bag to make that grab, and without even thinking about it, just quick tap to Stecco. How you doing? Keep it moving. And now Bowling Green get the first out of the inning.
Brings up Brendan Kleiman. He walked his first time up in the second inning.
It was also the second walk of the day for Landon Williman. A lot of seconds happening right now.
Williman takes a look back at second. Now delivers to the plate. Swing and popping it up in right field is Kleiman. Coming in is Horkey to make the catch. Holding up as second is Zyrus. So 2 outs in the inning. Zyrus still on second, and it brings up John Hale.
And we had a quick adjustment there by Braden Curlis. He was just eking out more to the right to adjust on that hit. And it's a good thing he did as that ball was popped up over to right, but it was caught by Zach Horkey.
John Hale, his first time up, flew out to center field.
He was also the second flyout of the day, if you see a pattern here.
You like finding these patterns with the seconds right now.
I know. Well, second is coming up a lot as we are at 2 outs.
First pitch ball to Hale. Williman a couple looks back to second. Now goes to the plate. Swing and flying it out to center field is Hale. Tackett barely has to move before it goes into his glove for the third and final out of the inning. So Landon Williman allows a leadoff double, then gets 3 straight outs. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Bowling Green leading Eastern Michigan 4-0 here at Stellar Field on Falcon Radio.
BGSU Baseball returns home to host Notre Dame at Stellar Field on Sunday, May 11th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavlitz and Chaz McNeil will call the game beginning at 2:45 for pregame and 3 p.m. for first pitch on Falcon Radio.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com. Top of the order, due up for Bowling Green here in the fourth. Gunnar Antillian, Garrett Wright, Gavin Ganon. Still on the mound for Eastern Michigan is Tyler Kappa. After a rocky first in which he gave up 3 runs, he now goes to the fourth inning, still in the mound for EMU. We'll see how much longer he can get Eastern Michigan through this outing. His pitch count right now,
68.
So it is a bit high for Kappa through 3 innings.
Yeah, it definitely is. And we are now seeing some swings happening, some pitches, happening.
Shown by Antillion and pulled back. It's going to be a first pitch ball.
There is some movement now in the bullpen, actual throwing, not just sitting and vibing out.
Kappa into the windup. His next delivery down the middle for a strike. Count moves to 1-1. Gunnar Antillion 1 for 2 on the day. A single and a pop out to second. Antillion dribbles this one up the middle. It's going to be fielded by the shortstop Vance. His throw in time. A nice play by Vance at short. And Antillion down for the second at bat in a row. 1 out in the inning. That'll bring up Garrett Wright, who's 2 for 2 on the day and having himself a tremendous series.
Wow, what a play by Vance there. Getting down on one knee, quick snag. He doesn't bobble with that ball whatsoever. He just gets a quick throw off in time from a speeding Gunnar Antillion. And now just like that, Bowling Green down 1 out.
Garrett Wright, first pitch swing, dribbles it to the right side. It's going to be misfielded by Jones. Drew Jones, the second baseman, couldn't get it in the glove. And Garrett Wright going to reach safely. It's going to be an error on Drew Jones over at second. First error of the game.
And that was a good opportunity for EMU, too. That ball just dribbling, and Jones unable to get a glove on it. I think he thought about it a little bit too hard on that throw. Quick routine
It
play.
looked like he was going for the throw before he had the ball in his glove, pulled his head up, and just a mistake there over at second. So it brings up Gavin on. Big swing and a miss on the first pitch.
Back-to-back hit singles for Gavin Gannon. 1 RBI accounted for. There is a runner on first base. Let's see if he can tack up another RBI.
That's been great to see. Those top 3 in the order for Bowling Green. 5 of the Falcons' 8 hits coming from Antillion, Wright, and Gannon so far today. Pickoff attempt over to first, but Wright back in safely. Wright advancing 2 bases on a wild pitch earlier in the game. 1-1 count on Gavin Gannon at the plate. Gannon, along with those 2 singles, has an RBI to his name today. This one down low. Nice stop by Travis behind the dish. Count moves to 2-1. Still just 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Bowling Green leading Eastern Michigan 4-0. Kappa's next pitch catches the outside corner. A nice pitch. Count goes even to 2-2.
So now for Gavin Gannon, the question comes again. Do you take a big swing at it, which he's done over the past 2 at-bats, and risk the strikeout, or do you try to keep the bat on your shoulder?
The pitch, it's swinging and dribbling it down the third base line is Gannon, but just a bit foul. So he'll go back to the box. Count will stay at 2-2.
Battling, staying alive here is Gavin Gannon. Only 1 out on the board. You'd like to bring a couple more runs home if you are Bowling Green. With, like you mentioned, Tyler, big history on the line. Haven't swept since 1973. Tyler, put that into perspective a little bit. What's some history that happened over 52 years ago?
As Gannon dribbles this one up the middle, hold on for that just a second. It's a single for Gavin Gannon, and runners on first and second for Bowling Green. Well, my parents were not born yet.
Really?
They weren't born for another year in 74. If you want to know how long it's been since what we're talking about has happened.
I wish I could say the same. My dad was 30.
Really?
In 73, yeah. Which is kind of unreal. But Chaz facts for another day.
The moon landing happened 4 years prior.
Okay, that's unreal. That's a good one.
1969 was the moon landing.
We weren't born for another 30 years. Well, I wasn't born for another 30 years. I don't know about you. Don't know what your plans were.
0-1 the count on TJ Tackett's. This one in the dirt. Count goes to 1-1. Runners on first and second for Bowling Green with one out in the inning. It's Gavganon over on first and Garrett Wright on second. TJ Tackett's the left-handed batter in the box. Kappa delivers from the stretch. Down low and outside with the off-speed. Count moves more in TJ Tackett's favor. Tackett's one of the more patient hitters on this Bowling Green team.
He does have yet to record a hit today, though, Tyler. You'd like to see him be maybe a little bit more aggressive.
As he swings and fouls this one off down the left side into the batting cages behind the Bowling Green dugout.
As he takes an aggressive swing. It's the commentator's curse at this point.
2-2 count on TJ Tackett's at the plate.
Bowling Green, if they get a walk here, that would be a pretty big opportunity with the bases loaded.
Misses to the outside, does cap up. Count goes 4-3-2. Kappa comes set, takes a look back to second, now delivers to Tackett's. Tackett's dribbles it to the left side of the infield. It's going to be bobbled and not fielded cleanly by Stecco, the third baseman.
That's going to be a hit for TJ Tackett's, as it was just a hard ball to field if you are Vance. And we saw, that was Stecco fielding that one, but for Vance, he made the adjustment, eking himself up to the right, and now we will have another conversation on the mound here with Kappa.
No arm heavily throwing just yet. Bases are loaded for Bowling Green. TJ Tackett's on first, Gavganon on second, Garrett Wright on third. It's Zach Corky coming up to the plate with just one out in the bottom of the fourth. Bowling Green with a chance this inning to blow the doors open on this one. They're already up 4-0.
And now, Tyler, we do have a catcher coming into the bullpen and an arm actually warming up. There was no real movement whatsoever, but now we do have a body getting fresh. I'm going to wait to announce a number because I don't want to get it wrong again like I've been consistently doing.
Eastern Michigan burned through a lot of their bullpen arms over the past couple of games. You have to wonder how limited their arms are.
Would you be shocked if I told you this is a fresh arm we haven't seen yet?
Let's see. I figured out the number, so let's see if you have it correct.
How'd you figure out the number?
I have my ways, Chaz.
Oh, my goodness. It's Emmett Gillies?
It is. Number 45 up in the bullpen for Eastern Michigan. Swing and a miss on the first pitch by Zach Horkey. Bases loaded for Horkey.
I don't like the collusion happening in the press box right now.
Emmett Gillies.
Gillies, okay.
Gillies up in the bullpen for the Eagles.
That makes it yet another fresh arm that we've seen. Now, obviously, he's not out there yet, but
0-2 count on Zach Horkey at the plate. The pitch to Horkey. Down low for a ball. Barely missed there by Kappa. Count moves to 1-2. One out. Bases loaded. Bowling Green leading 4-0 in the bottom of the fourth.
Best opportunity of the day for the Orange and Brown.
The pitch from Kappa. Swinging and fouling it off to the right side is Horkey. Horkey 1 for 2 on the day. An RBI single and a strikeout looking. Kappa with 4 strikeouts on the day. Just 1 walk. Kappa comes set, delivers. Swing and a miss by Horkey. He goes down on strikes for the second straight at bat. 2 outs in the inning. Bases still loaded. It'll bring up Caden Parker.
He's got a hit for an RBI already today, but he did fly out in his last appearance.
Designated hitter, Caden Parker.
So now with 2 outs, everybody on.
First pitch to Parker, down low, nice stop by Travis behind the plate, keeping that one in front of him.
That would have been disaster for EMU if Travis lets that one sneak behind him, just trapping it.
Takes a second to put the gear back on that fell off. Caden Parker, RBI single back in the first. Flew out to left in the third.
Garrett Wright on third, Gavin Gannon on second, and TJ Tackett's at first.
The next pitch to Parker misses down low for a ball. 2-0 count on Parker. Bowling Green has left 5 runners on base through 3 innings. Looking to avoid adding to that total. A big chance to extend their 4-0 lead. The pitch to Parker misses inside. And the count moves to 3-0. Kappa up against the wall here on the mound.
And now we're seeing Kappa starting to genuinely lose some control here as he has just stacked up his pitch count. He's at, I'll say it after this pitch because it's a good round number.
The pitch from Kappa misses to the outside. And Tyler Kappa walks in a run for Bowling Green. He can give the unorthodox RBI to Caden Parker, who goes down to first. It's Garrett Wright coming home to score. Gavin Gannon moves over to third. TJ Tackett's to second.
That ball number 4, Tyler, that was pitch number 94 for Tyler Kappa. He's nearly...
You have to imagine he is nearing the end of the road.
That's what I was just about to say. He's nearly at what you'd think would be his limit.
First pitch in there to Braden Curlis. In for a strike. Curlis 0 for 1 on the day. A strikeout and a walk. The next pitch from Kappa, swing and a miss. It's actually a foul tip by Curlis into the back of Travis's glove. And the count moves to 0-2. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Chance for Kappa to get out of it.
Curlis has already accrued a strikeout and a walk today.
The next pitch from Kappa, swing and a miss by Curlis. Goes down on strikes for the second time today. Give Tyler Kappa 6 strikeouts. But Bowling Green adds another run. They lead 5-0 as we head to the top of the 5th. We'll have the reveal of the trivia question I posed back in the 3rd when we come back on Falcon Radio.
Falcon Baseball continues on Friday, May 16th with an afternoon matchup against Northern Illinois. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavlitz and Chaz McNeil will be behind the mics starting at 12:45 p.m. for pregame on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back here at Stellar Field, Bowling Green leading Eastern Michigan 5-0 as we go to the top of the 5th. So we finally have the reveal of the trivia question I posed to you guys back in the top of the 3rd. The question was, which MLB stadium hosted the first night game in MLB history? Your options were A, Fenway Park, B, Crosley Field, C, the Polo Grounds, or D, Wrigley Field.
I'm saying Crosley.
Crosley? Okay. Lucas, do you have a guess?
I'm still going with Fenway. I refuse.
Fenway? Lucas, you are incorrect. Chaz, you are correct.
Bang!
It is Crosley Field. So Crosley Field in Cincinnati was home of the first night game in MLB history between the Reds and the Phillies on May 24th, 1935. The Reds won the game 2-1, and President Franklin D. Roosevelt threw a ceremonial switch at the White House in Washington, and the lights went on in Cincinnati.
Wow.
Dramatic way to do it.
So the Reds actually won a baseball game? Is what you're telling me?
I'd like to congratulate Chaz McNeil for getting the same amount of predictions right as he had on the swoop for Athlete of the Week as he did now for trivia.
Not true. Not true. That is not true. This is my second trivia I've gotten right. I only got 1 right on the swoop, Tyler or Lucas, so gotcha there.
First pitch to Drew Jones in there for a strike by Williman. This one misses for a ball. Count moves to 1-1. So are you officially past last year now?
No, I got 2 last year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was
so,
1.
But we are way less in the season than we were last year when I got my second one.
Skied up by Drew Jones. Going out to the outfield is Gunnar Antillion, shielding the sun with his glove, and makes the catch for the first out in the top of the 5th.
So back-to-back flyouts for Landon Williman. Actually, back-to-back if you date back to the end of the 4th. But now Jones, 2 flyouts for him. So there's that number 2 again, Tyler. Lots of 2s.
Bottom if you look, bottom 5 in the order for Eastern Michigan without a hit today. Stecco is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. Kleiman is 0 for 1, a flyout. He does have a walk. Hale, 2 flyouts to center. Drew Jones, 2 pop-outs. And Cooper Vance up to the plate in a 1-1 count has flown out to center. It's been tough sledding for that bottom half of the Eastern Michigan lineup today. Strike thrown in by Williman on the outside corner, beautifully painted. And the count moves to 1-2 on Cooper Vance.
And that is a big part of Landon Williman's game that he has been using beautifully right now. He is going the distance against these batters and hanging in there as well, might I add. Still scoreless for EMU. Landon Williman only at 72 pitches. You compare that to the near century mark for Tyler Kappa.
2-2 pitch by Williman, misses a bit outside. Count goes full to 3-2. 1 out, top of the 5th. Bowling Green leads Eastern Michigan 5-0 here at Stellar Field. The pitch by Williman. Swinging, flying it out left field, going after it is Motice. It's over his head and hops to the wall. And it's going to be a stand-up, 1-out double for Cooper Vance. Absolutely drilled that pitch to deep left field. And Eastern Michigan has a 1-out base runner as we go to the top of the order with Gianno Zaccaro.
3 hits for EMU today, Tyler. All of them coming on stand-up doubles.
That is so interesting. That is how they get their 3 hits with 3 doubles. The opposite of how Bowling Green's done it, with kind of a death by 1,000 paper cuts, a bunch of singles. This one grounded to the right side of the infield by Zaccaro. It's fielded by Curlis. He throws over to Gannon for the 2nd out of the inning. Advancing to 3rd on the play is Vance. It'll bring up Logan Hugo with a runner on 3rd and 2 outs. Eastern Michigan still seeking their 1st run of the game.
Tyler, now I've got some trivia for you. You said Death by 1,000 Paper Cuts. What musician has a song titled Death by 1,000 Cuts?
Is it someone that I would know?
Yeah. If you don't know them, that would be kind of ridiculous.
I've definitely heard of this being a song title. Nothing's popping into my mind, though.
It's not your style. I'll give you that.
Okay.
That's your hint. It's not your style.
Well, then I don't know.
Give me a guess.
Bob Dylan.
Close. That was actually a very close guess. It was Taylor Swift.
Oh, my. So 1-1 count on Logan Hugo at the plate. Yeah, no. Of course.
Tyler, you got to expand your musical reach here.
Strike thrown in by Williman. Count goes to 1-2. I like my music.
Oh, I like your music too, but we've got very similar taste. I just think I branch out a little bit more.
You're a little more modern. I'm an older soul. The 1-2 pitch by Williman. It's chopped over to the right side, gets under the glove of Gannon, and gets past Curlis. So it's going to be an RBI single for Logan Hugo. He brings home Cooper Vance, gets it past 2 Bowling Green defenders, and Eastern Michigan finally on the board here on the top of the 5th. They now trail Bowling Green 5-1.
That was a tough play for Gavin Gannon. A little bit of a misjudgment on that bounce. Unable to get a glove on it, and then it actually sneaks past Curlis as well, so that was Horky having to work on that ball. So now EMU officially on the board with 1 run.
Brings up Harrison Travis, 0 for 2 on the day, 2 strikeouts. So worth noting, Williman now working through his 3rd time through the order. This is where a lot of pitchers run into trouble. Runner is off on the pitch. It's down low for a ball, and in safely, well enough time is Logan Hugo. He got a great jump on that pitch. Was off and running before it went out of the hands of Williman. And for Hugo, his 14th stolen base in 15 attempts this season. He's been excellent on the base paths.
Tyler, obviously the throw to second, a tough one as the catcher, but Garrett Wright misjudging that one, or misplacing, I might say, just a little bit as it bends its way over to Curlis on second.
I'm not even sure he would have had him. I think Hugo had the throw beat.
I don't
he
disagree
had a
with you
tremendous
there.
jump. 1-1 count. This one drilled but fouled to the left side by Travis. And the count moves to 1-2 on Harrison Travis. Williman looking to get out of the inning. Travis, a strikeout victim in each of his first 2 at-bats, ended the third with a swinging strikeout.
First damage a lot of the day by Landon Williman, trying to just get out of this one as clean as possible.
Williman steps off the mound here. He'll reset. Pitch clock will reset with them to 20 seconds. Williman back on the mound. Looks in. Now delivers. Just to the outside for a ball. That one was close. The count goes even to 2-2. Hugo dancing around a little bit there at second, trying to get the attention of Williman.
I think the corner of that strike zone folded in on that one, Tyler. That was a very close call. But remaining up is Travis.
This off-speed also misses to the outside. Count goes full to 3-2 with 2 outs. In the top of the 5th, Bowling Green leads Eastern Michigan 5-1 here at Stellar Field. Williman toes the mound, comes set. His delivery. Off speed, down and outside. Couldn't get Harrison Travis to chase. And it's a 2-out walk issued by Landon Williman. Runners on first and second for the Eagles. It'll bring up Devin Zyrus. Mound visit here for Bowling Green. Head coach Kyle Hallett coming out to the mound.
We do have an arm warming up officially in the bullpen. I've got the real number for you. I'm going to beat everybody else so I can just announce it. That's Ty Roeder.
The real number? Is there a fake number?
Well, knowing me, I never know if I'll give the right one. But I triple, quadruple, and quintuple checked. That was number 13.
Home plate umpire Robert Lothian going out to the mound to break up the mound visit. Kyle Hallett goes back to the dugout. And remaining on the mound for the time being is going to be Landon Williman. We'll see when Hallett decides to make the change from Williman to Roeder. He's going to give Williman a chance to get out of this inning. This could be the last batter one way or the other for Landon Williman. And Lothian had a conversation there with Williman for about 30 seconds before heading back to the home plate.
Taking up a lot of time there was that entire mound meeting, about a minute and a half, with Lothian having a word as well. So now runners on second and first for EMU, a chance to add to their comeback that they're attempting.
Brings up Devin Zyrus, looks at a first pitch strike. Zyrus is 1 for 1 on the day, a double. He's also walked. Harrison Travis on first, Logan Hugo on second for the Eagles. Williman's next pitch, down low with the off-speed. Count goes to 1-1.
Top of the 5th here at Stellar Field.
Williman looking to work through 5 innings with allowing just 1 run. It's been a great outing from the right-hander as he misses to the outside with the ball, 2-1. One of his best outings over the past month for Landon Williman. Williman comes set. Looks back at second, now delivers. Misses just off the outside corner. And now a 3-1 hitters count for Devin Zyrus.
Now if you're Zyrus, you've seen the control issues coming out of Landon Williman. Do you keep the bat on the shoulder here, or do you just take what you see?
Williman delivers and catches the inside corner. Zyrus thought it was ball 4. Was starting to turn to head back and throw the bat towards the dugout and go to first. He'll stand in for another pitch. Full count, 2 outs, top of the 5th. Runners on first and second will be off on the pitch by Williman. Bowling Green leading 5-1. The pitch down and inside, and it gets past Garrett Wright. Runners going to hold up where they are as Zyrus heads to first. So the base pass loaded for Eastern Michigan here in the 5th. And just like that, the game-tying run coming up to the plate in the form of Ty Stecco. And we are going to have a pitching change for Bowling Green. So Ty Roeder going to come in when we come back for the Falcons. Bases loaded for Eastern Michigan with 2 outs. Ty Stecco up to the plate on Falcon Radio.
BG Baseball plays the Butler Bulldogs at Stellar Field on Tuesday, May 6th. Tune in to Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil and Holden Ruck beginning at 2:45 for pregame and 3 p.m. for the first pitch on Falcon Radio.
BGSU Baseball wraps up their series against Eastern Michigan at Stellar Field on Sunday, April 27th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Chaz McNeil at 12:45 for pregame and 1 p.m. for first pitch on Falcon Radio.
Landon Williman's day is done for Bowling Green. He is replaced by Ty Roeder. Roeder comes into a high leverage situation, bases loaded, and 2 outs in the inning. He will face Ty Stecco. Chaz, can you give us a little preview of the new Falcons pitcher in Ty Roeder?
Yeah, Ty Roeder, he's a righty junior from Waterville, Ohio, not far away. He was a Wright State transfer, and so far this season he's pitched 29 total innings, allowed 45 hits for 20 runs, 19 of those earned, 15 walks for 23 strikeouts, 7 doubles, no triples, 7 homers, and only 2 wild pitches on the year. He's hit 1 batter, and he's got a 5.90 ERA on the season. And you look at him, he's one of those primary relievers you bring in. He's not a closer, not a starter, but he fits in the middle. Doesn't get you a whole lot of distance. In his last outing against Ball State in the loss, he did go for 4 total innings, allowing 7 hits for 5 runs, all earned. And he had 3 walks with just 1 strikeout. And he hasn't had a multiple strikeout game in the past 6 appearances. His last multiple strikeout game happening 7 appearances ago on March 25th against Youngstown.
Comes into a tough situation here. His first pitch to Ty Stecco, in there for a strike with the fastball. Devin Zyrus stands on first, Harrison Travis on second, Logan Hugo on third. Eastern Michigan scored 1 in this inning. They trail Bowling Green 5-1. Game time run at the plate. The next pitch is grounded up the middle. Going to be fielded at second by Curl as he flips to get on for the third and final out of the inning. Ty Roeder comes in and gets the out to get out of the jam. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Bowling Green leads Eastern Michigan 5-1 here on Falcon Radio.
And Tyler there, Roeder just able to only get 2 pitches out. That's good if you're Bowling Green. He doesn't spread out on the batter. He honestly just gets 2 quick pitches, forces a quick hit, and then just like that, you're out of the inning. So it's a very exciting moment there for Bowling Green. Don't show too much of their hand, and you get basically a fresh Ty Roeder heading in to the top of the 6th. But first, we got to get to the bottom of the 5th here.
Yeah, and it also preserves a solid outing from Landon Williman. One of his best outings in recent memory for Williman, who's been in kind of a rough stretch. So, final line for Landon Williman, he goes 4 2/3 innings pitched, throws 95 pitches, gives up just 4 hits. 3 of them were extra base hits. Allows only 1 run, which is earned. 4 walks to 3 strikeouts, not the greatest there. But the only thing that matters for him is he only gave up 1 run. He leaves the game in position for a win as the Falcons are up by 4, 5-1.
That was a great outing by Landon Williman. We know at times he can struggle, but they're just able to close things out. And Tyler Kappa,
he's still out there on the mound. That pitch count for Kappa
at 96.
They're going to leave him out there.
There are arms warming up in the bullpen, though. I'd wager, unless he
Gillies
goes
was
1, 2, 3.
Gillies was one of them up there in the bullpen.
I'd wager to say if he doesn't go 1, 2, 3, we will see Gillies.
For Bowling Green, it'll be Carter Motice, Alex Laird, 8-9, then back to the top of the order with Gunnar Antillion. The first pitch to Motice. Fastball down low for a ball by Kappa.
And Motice, in his last 2 at-bats, he flew out and he had a single.
Looks at another ball down low. 2-0 the count on Motice.
So now, not only is the pitch count getting higher for Kappa, he is also struggling with control.
Gets a strike over there. Count moves to 2-1. Kappa looking to complete 3 times through the lineup. It'd be interesting to see if he gets Motice and Laird out, if they let him face Antillion at the top of the order. His pitch count is up there. 2-2 the count.
I believe that with that pitch, Tyler, he now goes to 100 on the day, so the century mark.
And it's a swing and a miss by Carter Motice at the plate. He's down on strikes. And it's the 7th strikeout of the game by Tyler Kappa. Brings up Alex Laird. Laird 0 for 2 on the day. He has struck out looking and popped out to second.
The third baseman, Alex Laird.
Kappa threw 102 pitches his last time
The bunt
out.
will be laid down here, and Laird reaching and getting to first on the bunt attempts. What a play there by the freshman 9-hole hitter to spark the Falcons' needed, Tyler.
Perfectly placed by Laird right there. And we've seen Laird lay down bunts or attempt to lay down bunts quite a bit this season to get things set up for the top of the order. Does so right there. And I believe now we are going to have a pitching change for Eastern Michigan. We will. Tyler Kappa's day is done. We'll see who the new reliever is for Eastern Michigan when we come back. Bowling Green has a base runner on with 1 out. We go to the top of the order with Gunnar Antillion. Falcons lead the Eagles 5-1 here in the bottom of the 5th.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
Back here at Stellar Field, it'll be Gunnar Antillion up the bat for Bowling Green as a new pitcher is on for Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, Tyler, that is Emmett. You've got the name pronunciation for me.
Emmett Gillies.
Emmett Gillies, there we go. He is number 45 for the Eagles. And so far this season, a 5.25 ERA. Does not have a decision so far this season. And in 8 appearances, he's pitched 12 total innings with 14 hits, 8 runs, 7 of those earned. And he's got a negative walk to strikeout ratio, 10 walks to 8 strikeouts, 3 doubles, a triple, but has yet to let off a long ball, giving up a .318 batting average when he faces an opponent. And with 2 wild pitches, 2 hit pitches, he is one of the more mysterious, you could say, of Eastern Michigan's pitchers, as they go through a lot of them, but he has not had a lot of work this year.
Gillies is a guy that was in the Mid-American Conference his entire career. Columbus, Ohio native from Bishop Hartley High School. Played the past 2 seasons at the University of Akron before transferring an intra-conference transfer to the state of Michigan to Eastern Michigan. Last time out for him was against Youngstown State on April 22nd. Didn't allow a run in 2/3 of an inning. Gave up a hit. Struck out a batter. The hit was a double.
Top of the order, Lair, the shortstop. Gunnar
And he threw
Andrew.
14 pitches in that outing, has thrown as many as 53 this year. First batter he faces Gunnar Antillion. Misses down low and outside for a ball.
And with a runner on first, this is a big opportunity for the Orange and Brown, Tyler.
The next pitch is flown out center field, but basically straight at the center fielder, Hale. And that'll be the second out of the inning. Brings up Garrett Wright, who has reached base all 3 at-bats today. 2 singles and an error.
And that's what you want if you're Eastern Michigan. You knew Gunnar Antillion was going to come in there hot. He does swing on the first pitch he sees. I believe if that was Kappa out there, that ball might have gotten taken yard. But facing off against a fresher arm in Galise, now Garrett Wright gets his first crack at the new pitcher.
Thought the runner was off and running on the pitch. It's a ball, and the throw back was a close play over at first. Laird, it was almost a fake seal over there at first, then scrambled back to the bag. It was a tremendous throw down by Travis. But Laird gets back in safely. It was a ball at the plate to Garrett Wright. Laird does not go on this pitch. Fastball catches the outside corner. Count moves to 1-1 on Garrett Wright. On the season, Alex Laird 5 stolen bases on 5 attempts. Galise's next pitch, dribbled up the middle by Wright, fielded at second by Jones. He'll step on second for the fielder's choice, and that's how the 5th inning ends. We go to the top of the 6th. Bowling Green leading Eastern Michigan 5-1 here at Stellar Field on Falcon Radio.
Falcon Baseball stays in South Bend to battle Notre Dame on Saturday, May 10th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavlitz and Chaz McNeil beginning at 1:45 for pregame and 2 p.m. for first pitch on Falcon Radio.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
6, 7, 8 in the order. 2 up for Eastern Michigan. Brendan Kleiman, John Hale, and Drew Jones. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network here with you for this one. Bowling Green leads Eastern Michigan 5-1 as we go to the top of the 6th inning, Chaz.
Yeah, Bowling Green unable to get anything there. They let up a lone run at the top of the 5th. But we've got a bit of a battle happening here. Quick pitching changes on both sides. You've got Galise coming in for Kappa, Roeder coming in for Williman. Bowling Green's offense stalling just a bit. The second scoreless inning for them so far today. Now top of the 6th, if you're the Falcons, you want to pick up where Roeder left off and getting 1 out with just 2 pitches, forcing a hit straight to TJ Tackett. And now you've got a part of the order starting off with number 29, Brendan Kleiman. And so you've got Kleiman, Hale, and Jones. Kleiman walked and flew out, but everything else, no hits between those 3.
First pitch by Ty Roeder to Kleiman. Missed it inside for a ball. Roeder coming in replace for Landon Williman for the final out last inning in the 5th. Next pitch by Roeder. Catches the zone with the fastball. Count moves to 1-1. Roeder working from the windup. Delivers another fastball down the middle for a strike. 1-2 count on Kleiman. Does not have a hit on the day. A walk and a fly out to right.
Tyler, I'd argue to say that when it comes to a fastball, Ty Roeder has one of the best I've seen.
It's got a lot of life to it, and he locks up Kleiman. Sends him down on strikes looking. First strikeout of the game by Ty Roeder. 4th for Bowling Green pitchers. 1 out in the inning brings up John Hale.
John Hale flew out in both at-bats so far this fine Sunday.
First pitch by Roeder. Fastball misses way up high.
Tyler, what does your week ahead look like? Got exam weeks coming up here.
Don't have too many finals. A lot of sports stuff.
A lot of sports stuff, I will say that. A lot of baseball.
A lot of baseball.
You can catch Tyler's Bullpen Bulletin on Thursday, and I will have socials going out, one on Instagram, BGSU Baseball, and one on Falcon Media Sports Network on Instagram and Twitter X.
Foul ball there by Hale. Count goes to 1-2. You got to graduate soon.
I graduate on Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you get me? What's my graduation gift?
You'll find out. This one lined over to the right side, gets past a diving Gavigan and goes to the outfield. It'll be a single for John Hale, his first hit of the day.
I will say I do have an exam tomorrow at 6. I've got family coming into town at 5. It's brutal.
That's terrible timing.
My brother's coming from the UK. It's an 8-hour flight. And I'm like,
that's brutal.
It's horrendous. You ever been out of the country?
I've not. I've never actually up until the summer after freshman year of college. Before then, I had never been west of Ohio.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say never been out of the state.
No. First pitch by Roeder to Drew Jones. Misses for a ball. And I've been out of the state.
I'd say we've got a pretty sizable crowd here. A lot of Bowling Green fans. And
solid crowd today. Bunt shown here by Drew Jones. Pulled back. It's in there for a strike. Count moves to 1-1.
I promise I'm going somewhere with this. Good crowd. A lot of Bowling Green fans. How many of these Bowling Green fans do you think have never been outside of the state?
I can't imagine too many, especially at college.
That is true. And if you're the parents of the ball players.
Misses up and in. Spinning out of the way is Drew Jones to avoid getting hit. And the count's 2-1 on Jones at the plate. Runner on first for him, 1 out, top of the 6th. Bowling Green leads Eastern Michigan 5-1.
And Roeder, when it comes to walks, he's got more strikeouts than free passes, but
beautifully painted fastball on the outside corner, and the count goes even.
Trying to avoid a walk here. On deck is Jones.
Roeder looks in, comes set. Now delivers. Outside with the slider. And the count goes full to 3-2. Big pitch upcoming for Ty Roeder. Struck out his first batter of the inning with Kleiman looking. Then gave up a single to John Hale. Now a pickoff attempt. Hale back in time. Roeder now in a full count against Drew Jones. With Cooper Vance waiting on deck. The pitch, runner off, swing and a miss. The throw down, offline, and it goes to the outfield. Holding up at second, though, is Hale. So out at the plate is Drew Jones swinging. Second strikeout by Roeder in second out of the inning.
Bit of a lucky break there for Bowling Green.
And they're going to call batter interference. So that will end the inning. Bowling Green lucks out with the batter interference, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. Falcons lead the Eagles 5-1.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU athletics. New episodes are available every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Three, 4, and 5 due up in the order for Bowling Green. Gavagadon, TJ Tackett's, Zach Horkey.
Big day for Gavin Gannon, might I add. 3 straight singles for the senior. Maybe the headband was a curse. I don't know. He's been performing very well in this stretch of season. And then you've got TJ Tackett's right behind him coming off of a single. Zach Horkey, who has a single today. This is a pretty lethal section of the lineup if you really look at it. And I kind of like the fact that TJ Tackett's is no longer that leadoff guy, not for any other reason than the fact that he's not the biggest power guy, but he can knock a baseball around, and to have him as the cleanup, he moves the base paths.
They were hoping he'd develop a lot of power as Gavagadon looks at a first pitch ball down low, but the power hasn't exactly come through so far this season. He stayed a high on base guy. Still a solid bat at the plate. The next pitch to Gannon, all speed in there for a strike. Count moves to 1-1 on Gavin Gannon. Like you mentioned, 3 singles for him today. He's come around to score once, and he's driven in 1 run. Chops this one over the left side of the infield, fielded cleanly by the third baseman Stecco. His throw across the diamond in time for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up TJ Tackett's.
First non-hit for Gavin Gannon, and even then he made contact on that ground out. So you're right, up comes TJ Tackett's, but I want to take a second. Zyrus and Stecco, what a good connection from third base and first. Zyrus able to field everything Stecco does because Stecco puts it on a rope every time.
Releases pitch past Tackett's for a strike. Tackett's is 1 for 3 in the day. His lone hit, a single. He's also struck out swinging and grounded out to second. Bowling Green held scoreless in 2 innings today. In the third and last inning of the 5th, as Tackett's fouls this off to the left side. Bowling Green scored 3 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the 4th. Eastern Michigan's lone run coming in the 5th.
Now, if you're Bowling Green, you could go one of 2 ways with this. Obviously, you want to keep scoring runs, but your pitching has been very solid up until this point.
Tackett's fouls this off to the left side once again.
Now, obviously, there are a couple big-name batters in that lineup for EMU, but as a whole, they're not the biggest batting team in the world. About 8th in the max standings in batting average.
The 1-2 pitch is lined through to the right field by TJ Tackett's, past the first baseman Zyrus. And Tackett's with his second hit of the day. Bowling Green has a base runner with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Brings up Zach Horkey. Horkey 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI single, but he's gone down on strikes, 1 swinging, 1 looking, each of his past 2 at-bats.
Tyler, don't look now. We're at 12 singles in this game. Not a single double, triple, or homer yet. Unless I wrote something down wrong.
First pitch strike into Horkey. I think you may be correct.
That can't be true. Me correct? That
As
ball's
Horkey pops this up in the infield, it's going to be the first baseman, Zyrus, calling it and making the catch. That'll bring up Caden Parker with 2 outs. I think you're correct. I don't see anything else written down unless I missed something as well for an extra base hit. It's been death by 1,000 paper cuts for Bowling Green today.
Shout out Taylor Swift.
Not who I got that from, but yeah.
Shout out Aristotle. Is that who you got it from?
It's just a saying. I don't know. First pitch ball.
I thought you were supposed to be a journalist, Tyler. Cite your sources.
Parker 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI single. As a throw over to first from the catcher, Travis, after the pitch. Back in safely as Tackett. It was another close one. Travis has almost got a couple BG runners today by that way.
Travis, I know I gave my flowers to catcher Garrett Wright, but Travis is one of the most savvy catchers I've seen play here in a minute. Just sniffing out Bowling Green's attempt to steal some extra bases.
A 1-1 pitch, misses down low for a ball.
And not letting much get past him either.
Parker on top of that RBI single has flown out to left and walked. Runner is off on the pitch. It's in the dirt. The throw down, not in time. It gets to the outfield, and Tackett is going to go to third. Heads up base running by TJ Tackett, steals second, and then advances to third on the throwing error.
And that was a tough play for Drew Jones to make that ball swinging itself out to the right, but it gets past him, bounces. Tackett's taking the opportunity near immediately to go from first to second to third, kind of similar to what we saw with Garrett Wright not long ago. So now a runner threatening on third.
The pitch to Caden Parker, a swing and a miss. That is a throwing error on the catcher, Travis. Second error of the game by Eastern Michigan. Full count at the plate on Caden Parker. 3-2, 2 outs. Runner on third for Bowling Green. They lead 5-1 in the bottom of the sixth, and it's down low for ball 4. So make it runners on the corners for the Falcons with 2 outs.
And Caden Parker, he had that RBI walk not long ago. Now he just gets a regular walk. And Tyler, while we have a quick second, let's go through some of the scores in the MAC right now. It's 5-1 here, Bowling Green versus Eastern. Surprise, surprise if you've been listening. But Central Michigan up 4-0 on Ball State in the 7th inning. East Tennessee State leading Toledo in the 7th, which is a non-conference game. Akron tied with Kent 3-3 in the 6th.
Akron giving up that 3-run lead against Kent State that they held earlier in that game. What inning did you say that game was in?
That is in the 6th. And then Miami of Ohio down on Ohio.
There's a single hit through the infield to the left side by Braden Curlis. An RBI single by Curlis drives home TJ Tackett, and Bowling Green's lead grows to 6-1 in the bottom of the 6th.
So you're up 5 now, 2 outs, runners on second and first, and up comes Carter Motice. He does have a single today. He's been getting his bat moving. Also flew out and struck out. And
Trainer going to come out and look at the shortstop for Eastern Michigan, Vance.
So while they take a quick look at him here, looks like he's touching the back of his head, but the trainer's going to trot back. But while we get a quick second, Ohio also up on Miami of Ohio, bottom of the 5th. So now that's the top 3 teams above Bowling Green, either tied with an opponent or down.
Brings up Carter Motice. Motice looks at a first pitch ball. What was the Ball State score once again?
Sorry about that. That Ball State score is 4-0. Central Michigan up on Ball State.
That's also an interesting one because it's an interesting one for Bowling Green in that, yeah, you get closer to Ball State, but you also would probably like a Central Michigan loss in terms of clinching a MAC tournament berth.
Tyler, we also have an arm warming up in the bullpen for EMU. I will get that number hopefully before everybody else and nobody tell me.
2-1 the count on Carter Motice.
Tyler, I see you looking around. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh.
Galese's pitch is fouled off by Motice.
Did you get it?
The count goes to 2-2.
It's Nick Keene. Dang it. Kyle's got a better viewpoint than I do. He's staring right at the bullpen.
Sounds like an excuse.
Oh, it is.
A 2-2 pitch from Galise. Inside, almost hit Motice. Had to back out of the way of that one. And the count goes full once again to Carter Motice. 3-2. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Bowling Green leads 6-1. There's runners on first and second. It's Curlis on first and Caden Parker on second. They'll both be off on the pitch. The pitch is outside with the off-speed, and it's another walk by Eastern Michigan. And the bases are loaded once again for Alex Laird with 2 outs, but not before a mound visit for the Eagles. May have a pitching change upcoming.
We will.
We will indeed. So, pitching change coming for Eastern Michigan with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Alex Laird up the bat for Bowling Green. When we come back, Falcons lead the Eagles 6-1 right here on Falcon Radio.
BGSU Baseball finishes off a 3-game series against Toledo on Sunday, May 4th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network, Tyler Kaplitz, and Caden Knapp on the call starting at 1 p.m. for first pitch on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
New pitcher for Eastern Michigan is Nick Keene, a junior right-handed pitcher from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, a transfer from Frederick Community College. Chaz, can you tell us a little bit more about the new pitcher for the Eastern Michigan Eagles?
Yeah, Tyler, I would love nothing more. Nick Keene is you mentioned it, he's a junior. So far this season, he has 15 innings pitched, 9 hits for 9 runs, all of them earned, 18 walks to 21 strikeouts, so a lot of both. Doesn't force a whole lot of hits. But he's given up a double, no triples, a home run, and 9 wild pitches, so he is prone to some control issues, and wraps up with a 5.40 ERA. Tyler, I'm doing some research right now, but I've got a very interesting stat for you once I get there. I'm just foreshadowing that right now.
All right. Keene is listed as a two-way player. Only has 4 at-bats this season as an outfielder. The pitch by Keene, in there for a strike to Alex Laird. Laird up to bat with the bases loaded and 2 outs here at the bottom of the 6th. Bowling Green leading 6-1 over Eastern Michigan. Motice on first, Curlis on second, Parker on third. Swing and a miss, that ball gets away from Travis. Here comes Parker, and he scores without a throw. Caden Parker scores on the wild pitch. Every other runner moves up a base, and it's a 7-1 Bowling Green lead.
And just like I mentioned, Tyler, another wild pitch. That puts him at 10 so far this season.
That was a swing and a miss by Laird, and the pitch got away from Travis. Now the 0-2 pitch. Another swing and a miss by Alex Laird, and that's how the inning ends. But Bowling Green adds 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th. They lead 7-1 as we go to the top of the 7th right here at Stellar Field on Falcon Radio.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
BG Baseball heads north up the I-75 to take on the Toledo Rockets on Tuesday, May 13th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil will guide listeners through the action starting at 2:45 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Bowling Green's lead up to 7-1 as we reach the top of the 7th here at Stellar Field. Ty Roeder still on the mound for the Falcons. And we do have the final line for Galeese for Eastern Michigan as he was replaced by Keene at the end of that last half inning. Can you give us the final line for Galeese for the Eagles, Chaz?
Tyler, I'd love nothing more. Galeese pitched 1 1/3 total innings, 29 pitches, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, and he struck out, or he had 2 walks, did not strike out a batter, and he faced 8. And also, I want to mention, I was doing the math, crunching the numbers while we were going through that inning. There are 19 pitchers listed on the depth chart
as having appeared in a game this season for Eastern Michigan.
For EMU. 13 of them have been pitched already out of the 19. That means there's 6 completely fresh batters that have not pitched in the series.
Pitchers.
Obviously, fresh pitchers that have not pitched in this series, Mr. Autocorrect here. And because of that, obviously we could see some that have pitched already, but 6 fresh is crazy.
That is, you want to talk about burning through your arms in a doubleheader and how that can affect you in a series. We saw that and how that's affected Eastern Michigan in this series.
Yes, we have.
As this one lined out to left field, but a diving catch made by Motice. He robs Cooper Vance of a hit with a great play in left.
Yeah, Motice right there, just a snag. Grabbing that one, diving attempt, rolling with it, holding it in his glove. That was an athletic play by the true freshman, might I add.
We go to the top of the order with Gianno Zaccaro. Zaccaro, 1 for 3 on the day with a double. First pitch by Roeder, misses inside for a ball. Zaccaro had a tremendous season last year. 341 batting average, 12 doubles, 2 triples, 4 homers, 30 runs batted in. This season, though, has not been the same amount of success. He's batting .234 with 7 doubles, 2 homers, and 15 runs batted in.
Now Roeder starting way behind in the count, 3-0, has yet to throw a strike against Zaccaro.
Roeder's next pitch, and misses wildly inside. And it's going to be a free pass for Zaccaro on 4 pitches.
4 straight balls for the junior. And now still 1 out for Bowling Green. They do have something building here as up comes Hugo, who's flown out twice, and he has a single so far today.
Logan Hugo, the 2-hole hitter for Eastern Michigan.
The right fielder, Logan Hugo.
Hugo, last year, was on the Bobby Bragan Collegiate National Slugger of the Year watch list. Had a grand slam against Michigan State and walked off Central Michigan last season. Part of a year that he had a .284 batting average, 10 home runs, and 30 runs batted in. He's improved this season. A batting average over 300, 9 homers, and over 40 runs batted in. Ball to start his at-bat. Now looks at a strike on the outside corner. Count goes even to 1-1. Hugo last time up, an RBI single and stole base.
And Ty Roeder, not the craziest distance guy. The most he's pitched in a game is 4 innings against Ball State last week.
Can give you some long relief. Served as a semi-starter last season before transferring into Bowling Green. The next pitch from Roeder. Swung on and popped up foul. Behind us here in the press box. Count goes to 1-2 on Logan Hugo. 1 out in the top of the 7th. Bowling Green leads Eastern Michigan 7-1. Base runner on first for the Eagles is Gianno Zaccaro.
Double play is a possibility here for the Falcons with a runner on first.
Ty Roeder looks in. Now delivers from the stretch. Grounded foul to the left side. We'll do it again at 1-2. Ty Roeder working a little bit of methodical pace. His 1-2 delivery to the plate. Swing and a miss by Logan Hugo. He goes down on strikes for the first time today.
Hugo.
And it's the third strikeout of the game for Ty Roeder.
Hugo reaching there on that one. That was a ball he'd love to have back, getting tricked by that one. And you mentioned 3 strikeouts. That's his first multiple strikeout game in over a month on March 25th. His most strikeouts in a game is 4, tied it against Ohio and Akron. First 2 series of the season in conference play for BG.
His first pitch to Harrison Travis. Misses down low and outside for a ball. This one thrown in for a strike by Ty Roeder. The count's 1-1 on Harrison Travis. Roeder delivers once again. This one misses outside for a ball. 2-1. Roeder 3 strikeouts and 1 walk in this appearance. Controlled the last few batters. Has been a little iffy, but he's recovered for the most part. Off speed, catches the zone. Count goes even to 2-2 for Ty Roeder against Harrison Travis. Travis 0 for 2 in the day, 2 swinging strikeouts and a walk.
This would be big for BG to get this out.
The 2-2 pitch, down low and outside, and gets past Garrett Wright. Advancing to second is going to be Gianno Zaccaro, and it's going to be a full count at the plate.
Now a payoff pitch for Ty Roeder with a full count, runner on second.
And that's going to be called a stolen base for Zaccaro as he was off and running. Ty Roeder comes set with 2 outs and a full count. His pitch swung on and fouled off the foot of Travis at the plate. So we'll do it again at 3-2.
So there, showing his cards a little bit, is Travis, showing he will take swings at this one, not just going to let one blow by him. So now, if you're Ty Roeder, you might want to try and challenge him a little bit. Leave it just a touch outside and see if he'll swing at it.
Roeder comes set. His delivery. Swung on and fouled once again by Travis. Back-to-back foul balls and a full count. Travis staying alive.
Roeder placing that ball right over home plate. A little bit of a tricky pitch there.
Runner in scoring position for Eastern Michigan on second is Gianno Zaccaro. Roeder set once again. His pitch. Up high for ball 4. Runners on first and second for EMU with 2 outs in the inning. And Devin Zyrus, the cleanup hitter, coming up to the plate.
Nobody's warming up in either bullpen either, so Coach Kyle Halleck, at least for this inning, going to let Roeder figure it out, as Bowling Green do hold a pretty strong 7-1 advantage on the Eagles.
6 walks and 6 strikeouts for Bowling Green pitchers today.
And Tyler.
Roeder's first pitch to Zyrus hits him in the foot. He tried to get out of the way. It caught him on the foot. So the bases are going to be loaded for Eastern Michigan with 2 outs in the inning. And this is going to be a major at-bat upcoming for both of these teams. It'll be Ty Roeder pitching to Ty Stecco, who's 0 for 3 in the game, but he has the bases loaded with 2 outs.
We've got a little bit of a tie-up here, if you will, with Ty Stecco and Ty Roeder. And now we're going to have a conversation at the mound.
Kyle Halleck coming out to the bullpen, or to the mound. Nobody up really in the bullpen for BG. As it's going to be a discussion between Halleck, Roeder, and the entire infield for the Falcons. Devin Zyrus is on first, Harrison Travis on second, Gianno Zaccaro on third. Bowling Green's leading Eastern Michigan 7-1. Here in the top of the 7th. A pretty quick conversation on the mound.
Roeder just needs one more out to put Bowling Green in a bit of a solid crunch time situation. Not going to bring up the thing you told me not to bring up until it's in play. You'll find out if Roeder can get this out.
Roeder comes set, swing and a miss on the first pitch by Stecco. Blew the fastball right by him.
Stecco swung for the fences there. He can smell a grand slam with the bases loaded. Also not going to say the other thing you don't want me to say about the grand slam.
Roeder comes set, delivers. This one flown out to the right side, but foul out of play. And just like that, Ty Stecco down in the count 0-2.
Stecco making a point that he's not going to go down without a fight. 2 back-to-back swings. I doubt he's going to let many get by him unless they're pretty blatant.
Roeder looks in. Now he comes set. Ty Roeder's pitch. Up high for a ball.
One rising.
Count moves to 1-2 on Ty Stecco. 0 for 3 on the day. A strikeout to end the first. A ground out in the fourth. A ground out to third, to short in the fourth. And a ground out to second to end the fifth. Roeder's pitch is chopped up the middle, and that's going to get through the infield. Zaccaro scores from third. Here comes Travis from second, and it's a 2 RBI single for Ty Stecco. Eastern Michigan back into this one, down by just 4, 7-3.
And that is what you need if you are EMU. What a play by Ty Stecco, hanging in there on a 1-2 count, fouling out what he can, staying alive, and then pushing the base paths. That was monumental for EMU. Bases not loaded as much anymore, but still runners on second and first. And another shot for Kleiman to get the bases moving.
Kleiman also does not have a hit on the day. First pitch to him, swing, pops it up to the right side. Ganon settles under it in foul territory, makes the catch to end the inning, but Eastern Michigan adds 2. Bowling Green's lead down to 4 runs, 7-3 as we head to the 7th inning stretch here at Stellar Field on Falcon Radio.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com. Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Back here at Stellar Field, 7th inning stretch time. Bowling Green leading Eastern Michigan 7-3 as we head to the bottom half of the inning. For Bowling Green, it'll be top of the order, Gunnar Antillion, Garrett Wright, and Gavin Gunnan due up. Gunnar Antillion already his 5th at-bat upcoming.
It has been a very strong day for the Falcon Bats. They are out hitting 13-6. The EMU Eagles. And speaking of the Eagles,
have a defensive substitution for the Eagles.
That's Jellison coming into the game.
Bruce Jellison is into the game for Eastern Michigan.
He is going to come in for Jones at second base.
So Drew Jones out. Bruce Jellison into the game.
And who can it be now but Gunnar Antillion?
Antillion, just 1 for 4 on the day. A single. in the first inning is the only hit for Antillion. First pitch he sees off the plate outside for a ball. Nick Keene still on the mound for the Eagles. Keene's next delivery swung on and fouled to the back by Antillion.
Antillion trying to keep the bat hot. Big swing on that one. Fouled it back.
The 1-1 pitch to Gunnar Antillion. Check swing. Did he go around? Did. It will go as a strike. Count goes to 1-2.
Keene trying to maintain a hot start.
And Antillion down on strikes looking. Froze him with the all-speed. A 1-for-5 day for Gunnar Antillion. Down on strikes for the first time. Brings up Garrett Wright.
The catcher, Garrett Wright.
Wright, 2 singles on the day. He's reached base 3 total times in his 4 at-bats.
He had 2 hit singles back-to-back, an error, and then a fielder's choice.
First pitch strike into Garrett Wright. Keene pounding the strike zone to begin the inning. This one spiked into the dirt, though. Count goes even to 1-1. Garrett Wright looking to continue this strong series of his. Had a great first 2 games. Looking to get back into the hit column in this at-bat. This one spiked in front of the plate in the dirt. Count moves to 2-1 on Wright. Gamagadon awaits on deck. Bowling Green still looking for their first extra base hit.
Unreal, Tyler. Ball gets away from Keene there, picked up by Jellison. That was a loose ball there for a second. Good thing Falcons have nobody on. Gavin Gannon looking to be the first of the inning.
The 2-1 pitch
Garrett
runs
Wright
inside and hits Garrett Wright. And there we go, Garrett Wright, the pitch magnet, his 23rd hit by pitch of the season. That extends his own single-season program record, and it's his 44th hit by pitch in his Bowling Green career, which also extends his career program record.
I got the player name wrong, but Garrett Wright reminded me of who he was, drawing that ball in to hit him for yet another hit by pitch. This guy is amazing.
Finds a way to get on base. Gamagadon up to the plate. Off speed on the outside corner for a strike.
So now Gannon functioning as a type of cleanup here with a runner on first.
The next pitch to Gannon down in the dirt for a ball by Keene. Tyler Kappa had the start for Eastern Michigan today. Gave up 5 runs, 4 of which were earned, off 11 hits and 4 1/3 innings in his start. Did strike out 7 batters. As this one's chopped over to the left side of the infield, fielded by Vance, the shortstop, flips it to Jellison at second for 1. The relay to Zyrus at first, not in time. So it's going to be a fielder's choice out at second. As you don't like to see that, Garrett Wright with a little bit of a limp walking towards the Bowling Green dugout. He was hunched over for a second, and now he's going to turn it into a little bit of a jog. You have to hope that Garrett Wright's okay for the Falcons.
Slid into the bag there, maybe caught something on his way in.
The center fielder, TJ Tackett.
Falcons have dealt with injuries throughout a majority of this year. They're currently without DJ Newman and Sam Seidel. Brady Birchmeyer also not in.
Haven't seen Perry Miller for quite a while on the pitching side.
Chase Chopin.
He was injured diving back to first early in the season. Chopin was.
Chopin, excuse me.
Fouled to the back by Tackett. Now he looks in a strike. Down in the count 0-2. 2 outs in the inning. Only base runner for Bowling Green is Gamagadon over at first after being safe on that fielder's choice.
Henry Salabi in the bullpen for EMU warming up.
We saw Slaby earlier in this series. Off and running on the pitch is Gannon. This one popped up, foul to the left side by Tackett into the batting cage. Gannon on the season has just 2 stolen bases on 2 attempts. He was off and running on that pitch.
Both teams slowing down a bit as we get towards the midnight hour of this game, bottom of the 7th.
First pitch was at 12:59 p.m., 3:24 right now. Off and running again is Ganon. This one up high. Travis looked into the glove, now throws down, and they got the runner. Ganon gunned down, trying to steal at second. And that's how the 7th inning ends. We go to the top of the 8th. Bowling Green leading Eastern Michigan 7-3 right here on Falcon Radio.
This is Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our 2 stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. Ziggy.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
That last half inning was the first inning for Bowling Green without a hit here today. And we go to the top of the 8th. Falcons still ahead by 4 runs. They lead 7-3 over Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, Tyler, we've nothing final yet, but we do have a lot of big swings happening here. First off, it is the bottom of the 8th. Ball State down 0-4 against CMU, so they're down by 4 currently. East Tennessee State up 5-3 on the Toledo Rockets in the 9th. In the 8th, for Akron, they are down 3-6 to Kent State. So Kent State getting a little bit of a breath of fresh air.
6 unanswered by Kent State in that one.
NIU up 4-1 on Western Michigan in DeKalb in the 4th. And then Miami of Ohio, they're down to Ohio, bottom of the 5th.
So the Miami of Ohio result, not the greatest for Bowling Green. The Western Michigan result would be good. And there's kind of some good and the bad for the Central Michigan Ball State. You would get a little closer to Ball State. Wouldn't help you in a clinching scenario, though, with Central Michigan trailing right behind.
Falcons still very much in the race here in the MAC. And, Tyler, I'm going to pose you a question while we've got a little bit of time here. You put your finger up like you had something to say and then went silent.
Well, I was interested to see which catcher came out for Bowling Green, because we had Coop McKenzie out there catching for Garrett Wright for a solid 2 minutes. Was not in full catcher gear. Was interested to see if Garrett Wright, who limped off the field, I wouldn't say limp, kind of hobbled off the field, came out back onto the catch, and he is back out to catch. So that is a good sign if you are a Bowling Green or Falcon fan.
Well, McKenzie has been just that warm-up catcher all day today.
I was just saying, he was out there for an extended time, and they were waiting for someone to come out. Garrett Wright came out at the very end. So you were wondering if possibly it was someone else getting catcher gear on, but no, it was just Garrett Wright getting ready.
Ty Roeder back on the mound for the Falcons. Didn't know if that would be his final inning, but he will return.
John Hale shot the first pitch fouled on the left field line. Now dribbles this one over to the right side of the infield. Fielded by Curlis, and he goes to first for the first out of the inning.
Now down to their last 5 outs are the EMU Eagles, who are still down on the Falcons with a score of 7-3. So they need 4 in the next 5 outs to stay alive, while also keeping the Falcons scoreless.
It's not going to be Drew Jones up the bat. This will be Bruce Jellison, who came in as a defensive substitution for Jones. Drew Jones ends his day 0 for 3, 2 pop-outs and a strikeout. Jellison, a 1-1 count on him.
You have some arms warming up in the Falcon bullpen.
Jellison shoots this one just foul down the third baseline. Jellison on the season is a 303 batter. 5 doubles, a homer, 21 runs batted in. A transfer from Wabash Valley College, played 2 seasons there as an infielder. Pops this one up, fairly deep right field, and going back towards the warning track is Zach Corky. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
So quick 1-2 here for Ty Roeder, getting good distance out of the junior. Roeder, 3 total innings pitched so far today, 47 pitches, 2 hits, 2 runs, all earned, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts with his 14th batter coming up to play.
Cooper Vance, bottom of the order, due up. Shows bunt, lays it down, just foul down the third baseline.
EMU just trying to get anything going here. Luke Kraus warming up in the bullpen for the Falcons.
Vance is 1 for 3 on the day with a double. His 2 outs, fly out to center, fly out to left. Roeder taking his time, now comes back out onto the mound. From the windup, Roeder's delivery. Down low and outside for a ball. Wright tried to frame it, couldn't get the call.
That was a tough frame job by Garrett Wright. That ball was nearly in the dirt and out far right.
The next pitch by Roeder. Swung on and popped up to the right side. Just going to get out of play. And the count's going to be 1-2 on Cooper Vance at the plate. Ty Roeder looking to work a 1-2-3 inning. Would be just the second traditional 1-2-3 inning for Bowling Green here today.
And Gavin Gannon went out to go get that one. He was unable to. He'd need probably some spring-loaded shoes.
This one grounded up the middle. Fielded by Antillion at short. Needs to make a quick throw. Does indeed and gets the runner at first. Vance retired. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Ty Roeder. As we go to the bottom of the 8th, Bowling Green leading Eastern Michigan 7-3 right here on Falcon Radio.
Hey, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and check out BGFalconMedia.com. Hi, Ziggy.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com. Due up for Bowling Green. It's going to be 4, 5, 6. TJ Tackett's, Zach Corky, and Caden Parker, middle of the order for the Falcons.
Yeah, this is one of those lineups for Bowling Green where you really trust everybody in it. You look, TJ Tackett's coming up. He's got back-to-back singles. Zach Horkey's got a single today. I'm waiting for somebody to pop out with something other than a single. That'll be interesting. I think they're still at 12.
First pitch to TJ Tackett's in there for strike. Tackett's 2 singles on the day. He's also struck out and grounded out to second. Lines this one foul down the right side by that Eastern Michigan dugout. He's down to the count 0-2 quickly as Tackett's. Keene's delivery. Tackett's lofts this right side. Coming in is the right fielder, Hugo. He calls off Cyrus and Jellison and makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Now Bowling Green down to their last 5 outs. You'd like to add a little bit more here to put the squeeze on the Eagles. Still going to be a tough job for EMU, but if you can get out of this inning scoreless, that is a massive win for Eastern Michigan. But they still got a pretty tough task. 6'4", Zach Horkey. He's got a single for an RBI, 2 strikeouts, and a fly out, and now a swing and a miss.
Big swing and miss at the plate there. His only hit, that single, an RBI single back in the first. Part of 5 singles in that first inning that resulted in 3 runs for the Falcons.
This has been some nice pitching here by Keene. Back-to-back strikes, got Tackett's down in the count as well, looking to retire Horkey.
The 0-2 pitch misses just outside for a ball. Count goes to 1-2 on Zach Horkey. Horkey, a victim of a strikeout 2 times today. 1 looking and 1 swinging. The next pitch from Keene found to the back behind us up here in the press box. Count stays at 1-2.
Tyler, why didn't you get that one? It's coming right for us.
The thing caught a ceiling and a roof.
Well, I thought you were some super athlete. I thought you were going to grab it.
A 1-2 pitch down and outside for a ball. Count moves even to 2-2 against Zach Horkey. Bowling Green held hitless for the first time in an inning, last inning in the 7th. Horkey caught looking. All speed right down the middle, locked him up. Horkey down on strikes for the 3rd time today. 2nd time looking. 2 outs in the inning. Brings up Caden Parker.
4 outs left for Bowling Green. Caden Parker trying to land on base for his 3rd time today. He's got a single for an RBI, a RBI walk, and then in his most recent at-bat, he was walked as well.
First pitch barely misses for a ball against Parker. Keene working from the stretch, comes, sets, delivers. Inside, miss. Parker turned away from that to avoid getting hit. And the count moves to 2-0. Keene working at a slower pace on the mound. Now delivers. All speed, misses outside. 3-0 start to the at-bat for Caden Parker.
Control issues mounting a bit here for Keene as he tries to get back into the strike column.
Braden Curtis waits on deck. Right down the middle, fastball. In for a strike against Parker. Count moves to 3-1.
And that was a good pitch there by Keene. Parker not going to lift the bat off his shoulder with an advantageous 3-0 count.
The pitch from Keene misses outside, a 5-pitch walk drawn by Caden Parker. He reaches base with 2 outs for Bowling Green. And that will bring up Braden Curlis, who had an RBI single last time up.
3 straight walks for Parker. Curlis coming off of his first hit of the day. Still 4 outs remaining in the game for Bowling Green, 3 for EMU.
Stepping off the mound is Keene. Now he throws over to first. Caden Parker on the season. 5 stolen bases on 8 attempts. Keene's first pitch, in for a strike, down the middle to Braden Curlis. Keene has not pitched against Braden Curlis yet.
And then we're going to get a overthrow here, jumping over
on the
Parker.
Pickoff attempts. And Parker's just going to move into second. So now a runner in scoring position for the Falcons with 2 outs. Chance to add on to this lead.
Cyrus tangled up with Caden Parker there, couldn't get past the ball, jumped over him, got his foot caught. Now Caden Parker's at second.
The 0-1 pitch at the plate, down in the dirt, and this gets past Travis. Here goes Parker to third, and he's safe. So some miscues in the field by Eastern Michigan allows Parker to go from first to third. And now he's 90 feet away from adding on to this Bowling Green lead with 2 outs in the inning.
with a 1-1 count.
The pitch is fouled to the back by Curlis. Down the count, 1-2. Bowling Green leading 7-3 here in the bottom of the 8th. Looking for the series sweep over Eastern Michigan. Eagles looking to hold that 6th spot in the MAC standings. The pitch by Keene, driven up the middle, and that's going to be an RBI single for Braden Curlis. Back-to-back RBI singles by Curlis, and Bowling Green's lead grows to 8-3.
Bowling Green now up 5 on the Eagles, and that brings up Carter Motice, who's got a varied amount of plays here. He flew out in his first at bat, got a single in his second. He struck out in his third and then walked in his fourth.
Motice, 1 hit on the day. It's a single that came back in the 3rd inning. He fouls this one off. Motice has also walked, struck out, and flown out to left. The pitch to Motice, up high for a ball, 1-1. Left-handed batter Motice. One of 2 left-handed batters in this order for the Falcons. Motice and Tackett. Motice fouls this one off, same spot to the left side once again. 1-2 count on Carter Motice.
Carter Motice attempting to keep this inning going for the Orange and Brown.
A pitch from Keene misses down low for a ball. Count goes even.
You've mentioned 2s all day, Tyler. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for Bowling Green.
Big pitch for Keene here. Comes set, now delivers. Down low, and that gets past Travis. That's going to kick to the backstop. And advancing to second is Curlis. Ball being thrown all around the field in this inning by Eastern Michigan.
If you're Eastern Michigan, you'd like to hope that you can just get through with Keene, but the control issue is starting to mount here, Tyler.
It's a full count now on Motice. The pitch from Keene, up high with the all-speed. It's a 2-out walk to Carter Motice, and we're going to have a mound visit for Eastern Michigan and a pitching change. New pitcher coming into the game when we come back. Bowling Green up 8-3 over Eastern Michigan right here on Falcon Radio. Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Nick Keene's day is done, and Eastern Michigan's going to their 4th pitcher of the day. It'll be Henry Slaby. We saw Slaby in the first game yesterday. He was the last pitcher to appear in the first game yesterday. Won an inning of scoreless baseball, struck out 3 batters. Struck out all 3 batters that he faced, in fact. He was the most solid pitcher that we've seen in terms of sample size, I'd probably say this outing, or this series, and comes into the game one more time here in this 3rd game and final game of the series.
The usual closer for Central as well, or Central, wow, for Eastern as well. I said Central.
Different directional Michigan there.
Exactly. I was looking at the scores here, and we do have a couple finals. Central Michigan defeats Ball State 4-0.
Shutout over Ball State. That's hard to do.
Toledo loses to East Tennessee State 5-3 in a bit of a shock. Akron down 3-6 against Kent State. And in the Miami of Ohio game, it is 5-4, top of the 8th. Ohio leads.
Yeah, Ohio. First pitch by Slaby into the game, and he runs inside and hits Alex Laird. So the bases will be loaded for the Falcons with 2 outs. And top of the order with Gunnar Antillion, 2 up. Antillion struck out looking his last time up. Chance to get some redemption here. Bases loaded for him. And 2 outs in the inning. The pitch to Antillion. Down low and outside for a ball by Slaby. Slaby comes set, now delivers. Fastball just a bit high. 2-0 count on Gunnar Antillion. Bases loaded with 2 outs. Bowling Green leads 8-3. Bottom of the 8th. The pitch, check swing by Antillion. It's in there for a strike regardless. Count moves to 2-1. Antillion just 1 for 5 on the day with a single. Comes into the game as one of the hottest batters in the MAC in the country. The 2-1 pitch, down low and outside for a ball, 3-1. Reigning MAC Player of the Week along with a few other national awards.
A walk here by Antillion would be the second RBI walk of the day for BG.
The 3-1 pitch, fouled off to the right side by Antillion. Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded. Alex Laird on first, Carter Motice on second, Braden Curlis on third. Runners will be off and moving on the pitch. Bowling Green leads 8-3, bottom of the 8th. Henry Slaby on the mound, pitching to Gunnar Antillion. Slaby comes set. Looks in, now delivers. Runner off, and it's on the outside corner. Strike 3 looking. Antillion down on strikes looking for the second time in a row. Bowling Green strands 3. We go to the top of the 9th. Falcons lead 8-3 right here on Falcon Radio.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Hey, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and check out BGFalconMedia.com. Hi, Ziggy.
Eastern Michigan down to their final 3 outs in this one. Bowling Green leads 8-3 as we head to the top of the 9th. It'll be top of the order for the Eagles. Gianno Zaccaro, Logan Hugo, and Harrison Travis due up. Tyler Kamlitz alongside Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in to this game on a Sunday afternoon. We appreciate it. It's been a fun series so far. It should be a fun ending here if the Falcons can hold on.
Yeah, Tyler, Bowling Green trotting out one more time Ty Roeder to see if he can finish things off. If Roeder is able to accrue just if he's able to win the game here, get the final 3 outs, he will have pitched the most in his time at BG.
And here's a fun one. Bowling Green is up by 5. But Ty Roeder's pitched 3 1/3 innings pitched. If he finishes this game out and gets the final 3 outs, Ty Roeder will be awarded a save. Bunt laid down here by Zaccaro, and it's going to be fielded by Wright, and fires a bullet over to Gannon at first for the first out of the inning.
And that is the third ground out of the day by Zaccaro, and if all holds fair, that'll be the last we've seen of him. A hit for a double, a walk, and 3 straight ground outs. He's been able to make contact, but not carry much. Next up is Hugo. 2 flyouts, a strikeout, and a single for him.
The right fielder, Logan Hugo.
Struck out last time up, did Hugo, back in the 7th inning. His only hit was an RBI single back in the 5th. Hugo looks at a first pitch strike, fastball down the middle by Roeder.
Swing and a miss on Hugo.
So I actually forgot Landon Williman did not go 5 innings, so he's not eligible for the win. So it would be Roeder who gets the win if Bowling Green can hold on to this one. This one lined in left field, and jumping and dropping the ball is Motice. I think he may have misread that one and thought it wasn't as far as it was, then jumped at the last moment, was in his glove, and then fell out. And sliding into second, or running into second, I should say, is going to be Logan Hugo. A fielding miscue out there by Motice.
And that will go as an error by Motice.
Harrison Travis.
So now Travis back up. He's been walked twice in a row, both times, I believe, against Ty Roeder. No, actually, one against Williman and one against Roeder.
First pitch to Travis. Skies this one. Fouled on the left side. Is Motice going to be able to get it into the bullpen? Motice caught it. Motice running into the middle of the Bowling Green bullpen, chased down that foul ball and made the catch.
What a play by Carter Motice. Makes a bit of a mistake going up against Hugo's fly ball this time. Not going to let the same thing happen. Sprinting over to the Falcon bullpen, making the snag, and now Bowling Green just 1 out away from over 52 years of history.
Boy, Motice traveled a long way to make that catch. Brings up Devin Zyrus. Eastern Michigan down to their final out. Zyrus checked swing and ball down low.
Zyrus
did not go, so it'll start the count 1-0.
Walked 3 times today and recorded a double. That was a stand-up double by him, so showing some power and patience.
Roeder's next pitch, this one chopped up the middle, going to be fielded by Antillion. He'll throw to Gannon over at first, and it gets past Gannon. Coming home to score is going to be Hugo, and Eastern Michigan adds a run here in the 9th. It's an 8-4 game.
And that is going to be yet another missed opportunity for Bowling Green. We had the error by Motice, and now the throw by Antillion over to Gannon just not going to get there. That's going to be an error by Antillion. That's his 3rd in 2 games.
Third baseman,
Zyrus stands on first now. 8-4 game.
Now Stecco's up. A strikeout, 2 groundouts, and he had a 2 RBI single in his last at-bat.
Strike thrown in by Roeder. Eastern Michigan still down to the final out. Roeder's next pitch paints the outside corner. And it's an 0-2 count on Ty Stecco.
Bowling Green 1 pitch away from history here, folks.
Roeder looks in, comes set. Ty Roeder delivers. This one grounded up the middle. Going to be fielded by Antillion. Spins. Makes a throw to Gannon. He's safe. Stecco beat it out. Antillion fielded that. Spun around. Made a throw. That just wasn't in time to get Stecco. And it's going to be a 2-out single for Ty Stecco. And Eastern Michigan making things interesting here in the 9th.
Maybe it might have been too close of a call, but I think Antillion, if he didn't spin, maybe the momentum was carrying him. He could have flipped that to second base, flipped that over to Curlis, and that would have been an easy out. But he had a bit of a misbalance happening there. Just tried this big throw.
Roeder's first pitch to Kleiman. There for strike. Now misses outside to Kleiman. It's a 1-1 count.
Bowling Green just 2 outs away. 2 strikes away, excuse me.
Roeder's next pitch. This one chopped over to Antillian. Antillian fields it, throws across the diamond to Gavin on. And Bowling Green sweeps Eastern Michigan for the first time since the 1973 season.
What a series for Bowling Green. They had the Eagles nipping at their heels in the MAC standings, and through 2 days, technically 3, a rain delay, they overcame all that adversity and made history since double both of us have been alive. You add our ages together, that's not even close. That's a decade off.
For the first time in 52 years, Bowling Green has swept the Eastern Michigan Eagles. 3 much-needed wins for Bowling Green, their first conference series sweep since the end of March. Winners over Eastern Michigan 8-4 here on Sunday afternoon at Stellar Field. We'll take a quick break, come back with you to recap this one. BGSU wins on Sunday here at Stellar Field. You're listening to BGSU Baseball on Falcon Radio.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Women's track and field travels to Athens to participate in the MAC Outdoor Championships, starting Thursday, May 15th and running through Saturday, May 17th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Holden Ruck will have the recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
BGSU winners over Eastern Michigan 8-4 here on Sunday afternoon at Stellar Field. The Falcons sweep the Eagles for the first time since 1973. A historic series victory for Bowling Green and 3 crucial wins in Mid-American Conference play for the Falcons.
Yeah, Tyler, this was a series that they desperately needed. Even though in the MAC they probably still would have been good, morale is what is most important right now. You've lost every series to the teams above you. You've managed to not get swept yet in the series so far this season, but EMU was not an easy pass as they punched Bowling Green in the mouth last year in Game 1, one of the only series Bowling Green actually had a loss in. They ended up winning that one, clinching a share of the MAC title in that series. But as a whole, your rematch against them on your home field, a little bit worse off record-wise, great team, and you just managed to do it. The adversity, the rain delay, everything, it comes up looking orange and brown instead of green and white, and because of that, you take away the win. Some final stats here.
How about the pitching for Bowling Green? You have Landon Willman go 4 2/3. Throws 95 pitches, gives up 4 hits, just 1 run. Does walk 4 to 3 strikeouts. And Ty Roeder goes 4 1/3. He takes the win. 64 pitches, gives up 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which are earned, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Bowling Green only has to use 2 pitchers to get the victory.
Absolutely masterclass management by BGSU head coach Kyle Halleck. Only going through 2 pitchers in this series. You go through 4 yesterday. Connor Penrod barely has to go. You just need him for 1 inning. And then you have 3 with Poole, Arn, and I believe there was 1 more in that first game.
In that first game for BGSU, it was Turner, Poole, and Arn, and then Sova, Kress, Lotz, and Penrod for 6 pitches in the second game.
So you get your closeout there. Bowling Green, first series sweep since Central Michigan at the start of March, or end of March, start of April, so just about over a month. Bowling Green gets the win, massive for them. Very excited for the future. They have the rival Rockets coming up. We've got the Fifth Third Field game on Friday, May 2nd, followed up by 2 road games at Toledo on May 3rd and May 4th, Tyler.
Yeah, that Fifth Third Field game should be fun. Have the Findlay non-conference on Tuesday in between there here at Stellar Field, and may have a chance for BG to clinch a MAC tournament spot in that Toledo series. We'll have to wait and see how everything shakes up. But Bowling Green, winners over Eastern Michigan. They sweep the series over the Eagles. Want to send a few shout-outs before we go off the air here. First to Jazz, thank you for joining me for all 3 games for this series. It was a fun one.
Yes, it 100% was. This was a great series. My last baseball game never mind, I was about to lie. As we will be calling the Fifth Third Field game together on May 2nd. It's my second to last baseball game before I graduate. So very excited about that. Very happy to have called this game with you, and very happy for a Falcon win, Tyler.
I also want to thank Lucas Kleinmeyer back in the Falcon Radio Studios for getting us on and off air. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you again, Lucas, for stepping up with that. Also want to thank Jack Schilt for shooting some video for Falcon Media Sports Network at this game for us. Emmy Cloutier for doing socials on the BG_FMSN account. Also want to thank Jack Rentema, who came and shot some photos for us. You can find the story that is also going to be written by Andrew Holkowski, who is here. You can find all that on bgfalconmedia.com after this game, or in just a few minutes, probably about an hour from now. All that should be up there on the website, so head over there and check all that out. But Bowling Green winners over Eastern Michigan. They sweep the series over the Eagles. For the whole Falcon Media Sports Network crew, this is Tyler Cavlett saying have a great day and stay safe, everybody. This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.